Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. Hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
This is Martin False live in Houma. We're in front of Hebert's Motel where water is up to the doorknobs at the motel. Telephone poles almost completely to the ground. This storm had some fury to it. The following morning, Hurricane Andrew had taken its toll on Terrebonne Parish. But the stick doesn't lie. No. That, you know, they said it started moving north-northwest. That was a jog. It's a very tense day for Terrebonne Parish. Levee after levee has been breached. You won't know until it equalizes how many of them have actually broken. And I'm just looking at that stick shot again. That center circulation has moved back on the stick, and Lafourche and Grand Isle to me are ground zero at this point. We'll see you again tomorrow night right here, same place, same time on Bayou Time.
Everybody, and welcome back to Bayou Time. This is Going Public, and we're trying to get any kind of answers we can in this difficult time. It's almost now a month since this storm. It's hard to believe. It seems like yesterday, so many ways. Seems like a year ago in so many other ways. But yeah, it's coming up on a month this next Sunday. So we'll bring in the Director of Solid Waste, Mr. Clay Knockamp. Thanks for being here. And David Rome, of course, Terrebonne Parish Director of Public Works. So, guys, thanks for being here. I know there's a ton of questions everybody wants to ask you guys. I know New Orleans, we see the garbage pickup there, so that's solid waste. That's your department. Obviously, completely different things. Let's talk about solid waste. Where are we at as far as getting stuff out of people's yards and getting them out of the way, getting cleaned up?
Well, for us, their household garbage, we on track. There may be a few areas that got accidentally missed and all, but we on regular collection. Everybody, except for where it was passable. Let me put it this way: where it was passable, everyone should have probably had about 3 going on 4 collections by now. Some areas did get left out inadvertently, and we're identifying them and getting it picked up. But for the most part, everybody's garbage is getting picked up. For us, the contractor, he's got all his labor under control. They back in town, they back working, so we're getting things done that way. If your garbage hadn't been picked up, you need to call our office and let us know about it so that we can put them on notice. And let's find out why they're not in that area and getting it picked up.
Yeah, those guys have been great. They've been working on weekends. You those guys are here. You know, you're not expecting it. But I guess recovery debris is now the major issue, right? And a lot of people have trees down or other stuff from their house that they want to get picked up in their front yard.
Yeah, and this is highly regulated by FEMA, how we do the debris pickup. We are in the process of our first pass. When we started this on September 3rd, we started picking up debris. We had to go in and look at, we have 12 zones with 83 sub-zones in there so that we can get these trucks in. They have to go into a zone and stay in a zone, get it cleaned up, so they're not what they call cherry picking, going around getting the big loads and stuff, so we want to make sure. So what we did when we started, we had to go in areas that didn't have power lines down. They working in those areas. We also spread out. We have just trucks in just about every area. We have 60 of these big 60 of the big black trucks riding that's doing the debris. The state also has probably 20 to 30 trucks working in the parish, so there's a lot of these trucks working. As of yesterday afternoon, they picked up 373,000 cubic yards of debris. We still got a lot to go. It's just very touching on it. The other big thing that we need help from the public is trying to segregate their debris. We need the green waste put in an area. We need the electronics and large appliances, hazardous waste, construction debris, and household garbage. Especially your household garbage and your green waste. Right now, we're getting a lot of calls where they came by and they picked up, they didn't pick up all the household garbage that I had in bags. Well, it's hard to tell if they're on there. We have this thing with FEMA, it's called the black bag issue, where there's a lot of black bags. FEMA will not pay for those black bags to be picked up with the regular debris because they well, maybe it's got household waste in it or something other than storm debris. So we have a contract that eventually is going to go around and start picking up the black bags and getting them off the street. But if you have household garbage that's in it, you need to segregate it, get it away from your debris, put it next to your garbage can so that they can pick it up. We encourage people to try to use clear bags and all so that they can see what's in the bags and stuff.
Because obviously these big black trucks are picking up mostly trees that are falling down.
Right.
And they can't put stuff that is hazardous because you said you got to reduce that, right?
Right. The green waste, our trees and all, have to be reduced by 50%. So you got to make sure you got some clean trees when they go in. The first pass will be trees, and then as soon as they get the trees and stuff, then they'll come back and get fence boards and stuff like that. It's not considered green waste because it's got it's treated, and it's got to be true green waste. So when we get them, they get to the temporary debris sites. We are not burning. We have two options. One is to burn, but it's pretty high regulated for us how far you got to be from houses, and the other one is grinding, chipping. And so we are doing the grinding and chipping of all the green waste that come in. If you got metal and stuff, and it doesn't work. Right. So
those all go to different places.
Right. So we got.
Now, will eventually those big black trucks start coming and get metal and everything?
Yes, they.
Or are they doing it now, right?
They're actually doing it now. They're doing their first pass as veg, and then they come back and do now the stuff that we are not picking up right now. We're not picking up the electronics, and we're not picking up the large appliances or the hazardous waste. Those things.
So your refrigerators, those kind of things are going to stay out there.
They need to, because we got another contract that we're going to activate to come in to get that stuff. We're trying to get the bulk of the stuff off the road right now, and
that's mostly the trees. And I know what you were saying. Those trucks, as big as they are, fill up pretty quickly when you get a tall tree that's in there.
Yes.
So now he's got to make his way through the subdivision around everything else, our own little linemen that are in, get out of town, and I guess you said Val High, Trinity. There's 3 or 4 spots they go to.
We have four temporary sites that our contractor activated, and they go to them. They set up throughout the parish. One in North Houma off of Trinity, one on Val High, one on the air base, and one on Highway 56 to get some of the bio stuff when we start picking up the bio.
Yeah. So it's happening, and it's just going to take a little while. Obviously, a tremendous amount of debris.
It's going to take a while,
and it's not just happening in some neighborhoods.
No, it's all over the parish.
That's a joke. I've seen the Facebook. So anyway, that's a joke. Hey, Dave, let's bring you involved because you're involved in this too, right? And I know you did a survey of the drainage for the whole parish. What's that telling us? Is there things stopping things up, or is it moving well?
Well, yes and yes. So immediately following the storm, the very next day at daylight, I had my crews get out on the road, checking outfall ditches, culverts, and moving equipment at that time in the storm is not easy done. So what we have them doing is documenting where all these blockages are within the roadside ditches, lateral canals, culverts, things of that nature. The second day, we were fortunate enough to be gifted with the presence of the 46th engineering battalion out of Fort Polk, which is active duty Army. I had 147 troops that we were able to get onto our levees and start assessing the outfall ditches and things like that. A lot of people don't realize how vast Terrebonne Parish is.
Right.
We have over 1,000 miles of canals and canals and ditches that serve our drainage system. And it's even more if you take into consideration Bayou Terrebonne, Bayou Grand Caillou, and those. We have completed that assessment, and we have started removing a lot of the debris. What we have to do, because it's so vast and so much, I mean, the Whiskey Bayou, for an example, which is very, very important to our drainage system, it was almost completely blocked. Every few feet, they had to treat it, they had to remove out of it, and they're still working on that and getting it out. But as you know, we had a tropical storm or tropical system come through, right. And fortunately, you know, it's like I tell everybody else, it's like going 12 rounds with Mike Tyson. Right. You're going to get beat up, but we're still standing.
Right.
And we are moving forward with that. And what I'm asking the public, and we will continue, is you know, this is our communities. If you see something that you think you could take care of, take out of that ditch, let's do that. And in concert with what Clay was saying is be mindful of where you're stacking all this stuff. You may be stacking it even on what you think is just flat ground, but that may be the ditch leading to a catch basin. So be mindful where you're stacking that, so that way you're not posing a problem for yourself or your neighbors.
Yeah, this thing came in like 3 days, but it's going to take a lot longer to recover, right? And you're right. I think we've done a good job, though. It seems like the people have come together and done a lot of cleaning up, which now leaves a lot of picking up.
Yeah, we you know, I think the last time I was on the show, you know, I was saying that I was a transplant from St. Bernard Parish, and right. And I fell in love with this community because of the resiliency that is here, mm-hmm. And the communities, the small communities, the big communities, the parish as a whole has that resiliency to get it done, and I've been floored at the outreach and the outpouring of people who have been affected by it.
Yeah, and look, we want to thank all those guys that have come down from all around the country, right, that have been here. You know, it's like a community for those guys. They've worked, oh, yeah, I remember working this storm and this storm and this storm and this storm. So having those linemen and all in town, I think you can see everybody appreciates the way those guys have been working and all that kind of stuff. I tell you, we want to talk about drainage, which also comes into the sewage and solid waste and all that kind of stuff. And it may be an issue. We only got about 40 seconds left here, but is that something that's being worked out where we're cleaning out drains and not having that backup?
Yeah, and we do. So another big number that people don't realize is we have about 23,000 catch basins throughout Terrebonne Parish. On a regular day, we have 2 trucks that service them. We're working to get more in, but we are still asking the public to be mindful of the catch basins in front of their house and their neighbors' houses in order to keep that water going into the drainage system, right, and getting away from their houses. Yes.
All right, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I know some people are interested in that. We'll be right back with more Going Public right after this.
A new company with a lot of history, GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South's Ambulatory Surgery Center offers patients advanced and innovative outpatient procedures using the latest technology and treatment options. The first of its kind in the region, this center provides our patients and their families with high-quality care in a convenient, comfortable, and safe environment at a lower cost. Trust your care to the cardiovascular care team you know and love at CIS. Learn more at cardio.com.
Pelican Waste and Debris is your local company. We don't just work here, we live here and understand the unique challenges that face our region. Our commitment to our community and customers and love for Louisiana keeps us motivated. Pelican meets every residential and commercial service need, offering roll-off, front-load, and compactor services, ideal for hotels, restaurants, apartments, construction or industrial sites, and much more. We also make recycling simple and cost-efficient, offering single-stream recycling program options. We have set the highest standards for environmental protection, community engagement, and guaranteed client satisfaction. Visit pelicanwaste.net or call us at 985-873-9553 to save money with hassle-free service. Our team has over 100 years of experience, so we know how to make you happy. The sky is the limit, so fly with the Pelican.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
A new company with a lot of history, GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.
Hey everybody, this is Going Public. I am Harry McCullough. We're still talking, of course, Hurricane Ida and the aftermath of that. Joining me, of course, the Terrebonne Parish Public Works Director, that is David Rome, and Clay Knockan, Director of Solid Waste. So guys, thanks for being here. David, we talked a little bit earlier about the sewage backup, and it's all connected because there's drainage, and if there's blockage where the drainage is, then sewage also doesn't have anywhere else to go.
You are right, Harry. So we had some serious outages within our sewer. Actually, we had 100% outage at our sewer. Both of our treatment plants were down. All of our lift stations, we have 184 of them, I believe, throughout the entire parish. So for approximately 3 days, that sewer just was in that system, not moving. And then you have a lot of rainfall, which we call I&I, infiltration and inflow, that gets in that system, and it becomes surcharge, and it's full. We were without water for a couple of days, and then once people started flushing toilets again, what happened was that system was not moving and started backing up onto the streets. Fortunately, we were able to get the treatment plants back online, and it wasn't just a power issue. And a lot of people say, well, you should have generators, and we do. And the generators work, but the mechanics of sewer treatment is what was damaged, and does no good just pumping raw sewage back into the system. But we are back up and running. We do continue to experience some trouble throughout small areas, and we are addressing them as they're reported.
But for the most part, headed downhill.
Yep, all downhill from there.
Hey, let's talk about something. We were talking in between breaks here a little bit about parish employees. You know, a lot of folks, I had 3 weeks off basically from my other job that I do to deal with the storm. You guys didn't have a break, and your employees didn't have a break, and some of those folks don't have a house right now, but they keep showing up. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I've had employees that came to me that was worried about losing their uniforms in the storm because their houses were destroyed, but they was back to work as soon as they was requested to come back. Came back with open arms to work for the parish, worked sun up to sundown in most places, and the solid waste employees now are still working 7 days a week because of all the construction coming into areas. So we had some employees that lost it. I know for one that was in his house and is no longer there, and rode out the rest of the storm in his car, but he was still there. And I have other employees, and they come in, and people say, yeah, they there was, and they are. I go in when I tell them good morning, or I see them on the side of the road and thank them for the work they're doing. They all got smiles and, you know, thanking us, you know. So we have some really dedicated employees. And I know David has a lot more employees than what I have, so he has some too. That
David, we had talked that you were having a tough time finding employees before this, right? You guys were on the lower end of that, and now you add this, but people are showing up.
But they are. I have 36 employees who have, you know, their houses have been deemed uninhabitable or just not there, and they are showing up every day. And for the first 2 weeks, we were working straight, no weekends off. We'd work from sun up to sundown in order to get those assessments done, to get the critical things back online, and they are coming back online. And those are, I mean, I admire these men and women that are doing that. Matter of fact, my wife, she's been working with some nonprofit organizations to get us some supplies specifically for our public works employees. You know, the basic things: socks, underwear, T-shirts. Things that we take for granted because I have a house with a roof and I can go home and do that. They're still wearing the same uniform that they were wearing 21 days ago.
Yeah, it's amazing, and you know, we all thank these guys on the power lines that are coming in from everywhere, but they do have places back home and they're making a lot of money. These folks are coming to work and they're victims of the storm, so they got it on both sides.
And the other thing is that these employees are coming in and they work in the daylight hours, doing their job, and when it's dark, while everybody else had the time to go get their essential things that was at the pods and stuff like that, the ice, the water, the tarps and all that, they had to depend on their family to get that for them while they was working. So, you know, it's dedication to do that.
Really
it's really appreciative from everybody, from administration down to all of us, appreciate the work they do for us.
Yeah, amazing. And everybody needs a place to live. Hopefully most people can go with relatives and stuff, but that's a tough thing. I see Tanner McGee, you know, with the legislature, been talking about temporary housing, that kind of stuff's an issue.
And I do want to mention, Harry, you know, Mr. Dove is working very hard on getting temporary housing, not just for all the citizens that need it, but also for the parish employees. You know, I've been privy to some of those conversations, and he's very passionate about getting, you know, our employees back, because they're the ones who are going to help get this parish back on its feet.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You forget about that sometimes. You think they're just working. They're living here too, for sure. Hey, down the bayou debris removal, we can talk a little bit more about that. It's they don't have power yet, so you know it's tough to have everybody down there at one time. Huh?
Yeah, you know, if you've seen these big trucks, they're massive. They can't just back up on a dime. They can't turn on a dime. And if they get caught up in down there in a roadblock where the power lines are down or something, and they get caught, they backing everything up even worse, and it's slowing your utilities from coming back on. The other thing is that they got a lot of low-hanging wires still. So if they don't see these wires and they pull them out of your house, if you didn't have the wire pulled out of your house and you didn't need to get an electrician, now you got to get an electrician. So we are very mindful of the people down there. We also there's people that still scavenging through the stuff looking for their belongings that they lost, because they're scattered all over.
Oh, yeah.
So we're giving them time, and we will be down there. And we go down there, we're going to clean it all up. And the other thing that people have to be mindful of is that there's two operations going on. We have the parish operations that we take care of everything on parish roads and subdivisions, but the state, FEMA requires the state to take care of the state roads. So if you see
highway,
yeah, the state highway 56, and what's
24,
coming, right, what's coming from those. So it's taking a little while, but we will be down there, and we're going to take care of everybody. Look, I've lived here all my life. I've been in public service for since out of high school, and I care about every place here, and we're going to get this parish back in where it was.
Yeah, Clint, let's take another look at, they kind of want us to separate the FEMA for the pickup,
Right.
which was also important, but also where you put this is also important, right?
Yeah, you know, you need to be mindful of the fire hydrants, your water meter. These trucks can't see that. We deal with this on a year-round basis with our regular trucks. Need to look for the canopy of trees, where you're putting it at, that if these trucks can reach it. Power lines, you can't be right underneath the power lines. These trucks hit these power lines that could cause life injuries to them and more power outage. You need to look for the phone pedestals. If you have underground utilities, look for the electrical boxes that's set on the ground. Don't put nothing there, because when they go there, they're not going to see it, and these things are very powerful, and they grab it, it's coming out the ground, and you're out of utility.
Right, it's a big scoop. It's a big scoop that they use, and if you put all your stuff right around, you know, the telephone or whatever it is,
right,
they can't see it.
Right, and you know, up against your mailbox, if you're putting it, well, it's a foot away from our mailbox, but when that scoop goes and it grabs that, whatever's in that area, it's going to line it up with the same line of the scoop, and it's going to swing it, and it can break your mailbox. It could, you know, parking your vehicles. If you got debris, try to make sure because they are working from sun up to sundown. So they drive there, and this car there, they don't have time to go knock and actually to move it. They're going to move on to the next one.
We have any idea how long we're looking at for recovery? I know it's
I'm
hard
looking
to say.
anywhere. Our first pass should be finished in 2 months or so, but we're going to make several passes because people are going to continue working on their yard and cleaning. We're probably looking at anywhere from a year to 18 months that we can say. If you look back at Lake Charles, right now, they're still doing pickup in Lake Charles and all from over a year ago. It's going to take some time. You're going to see some real good improvements in some areas. Some areas is going to be a little slower, just depending on the.
Right, and I don't have to tell y'all we're still in hurricane season.
Yeah,
that's not
I don't like to
mentioned
talk
Harry.
about it, right? You know, but I mean, Lake Charles got hit by 2 of them last year.
Right.
You know, so I don't want to start that. But yeah, what can we do in hurricane season, Dave, to make sure that we're ready? And you know,
Well, you know, I think living in Terrebonne Parish, inherently you are taught the basics of what to do during, you know, prepare for a storm. It's a little different once you get hit, and then you still have to stay prepared. You know, make sure you have your provisions ready, make sure your medicines, things of that nature. And then from, you know, a public works standpoint, be mindful of your property, of your neighbor's property, and where that debris is being placed. And if you can go out there and pick up some shingles off of a catch basin, you might just save your entire neighborhood.
Right. Yeah, it can sure help out. So do we know how much of the parish? We don't know exactly how much of the parish has power now.
I don't know.
Or utilities, internet, that kind of stuff.
I know each day is a little bit better than the day before. And
Right,
I
like I
think-
say, all you got to do is look at all these trucks that are driving up and down. There's people here working on it, right? Those guys ain't coming in for tourism, you know. Well, guys, thank you. I know it's been a trying time. Appreciate you guys' service. Like I said, I had time off, you know, but you guys have been working the whole time. So thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Harry.
All right, that is Going Public. We'll be back more right after this.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
This is Martin False live in Houma. We're in front of Hebert's Motel where water is up to the doorknobs at the motel. Telephone poles almost completely to the ground. This storm had some fury to it.
The following morning, Hurricane Andrew had taken its toll on Terrebonne Parish.
But the stick doesn't lie.
No.
That, you know, they said it started moving north-northwest. That was a jog.
It's a very tense day for Terrebonne Parish. Levee after levee has been breached. You won't know until it equalizes how many of them have actually broken.
And I'm just looking at that stick shot again. That center circulation has moved back on the stick, and Lafourche and Grand Isle to me are ground zero at this point. We'll see you again tomorrow night right here, same place, same time on Bayou Time.
Daniel, let me ask you, because in going down 116th Street, and I'm sure you can mirror it with every street they have, but I'm talking to a lot of people that are having trouble with insurance, the adjusters aren't showing up, FEMA's not showing up. What can we do to light a fire?
Well, I guess, I don't want to pass the buck, but we'd have to go to the higher-ups, to the administration, the parish president. I'll do what I can. My adjuster came today, and it's been about since the hurricane. He came to my house today, and then we went over it, and FEMA, I'm supposed to be located right here by the Go Pass, not FEMA, but the other group. And you go to FEMA. Well, they've been walking the streets now.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything is in an uproar. Everybody's not happy, which you can't blame them. And people are running out of patience, and we got trash. And FEMA's the most important thing right now because a lot of people are in a bind. I've been helping out as much as I can, and I was pooped for the last 2 days at the veterans. And I'm going to talk to the administration and see what I could come up with them. And I know they're trying, but like you said, you can only do so much. And in a crisis like we are now, we can't get it fast enough.
And I think maybe the bureaucracy of all this is slower than a Cat 5.
Well, I don't have to talk to you about Washington. You know how that is. You probably know it better than me with all the years you've been covering since 1985 and probably before when you were in school and all. And it's always bickering up in Washington. I mean, we got bickering in Lafourche and Terrebonne, but nothing compared to Washington, I can tell you that, And but hopefully it'll come through. And
what have you seen as you're going around? And like I say, the homes look similar, the people's attitudes are similar, but I'm gonna tell you, the attitudes of everybody we're talking to, they are resilient.
Yes, it's some people get more frustrated than others, but most of the people you could talk to, and looking at the trash, tell me, can you name me one yard that don't have any?
None.
I mean, it's just unbelievable, and we gotta think about, so far right now, about 80 trucks, and they're working, and you can go see on 32, 35 where they're dumping it, and a place in La Rose also, and not that we're not working, it's just that, I hate to keep saying it, but we can only do so much, and what we can do, we're gonna do.
But just a fact that if you drive through Lake Charles, you'll still see trash.
That's correct. That's over a year. Well, we got some of it. Lake Charles got the buck of it, then what we got, Zelka or whatever.
Zeta and this one. Yeah.
But I can tell you this, I was told that the parish president really got on FEMA.
He did.
Yes, he was. I mean, and you can't blame him.
Right.
I mean, everybody's frustrated, and the fuses are getting short, and hopefully we can come together and put it together and get better, a little bit better every day. It'll take a while to get this area back to where it used to be. I mean, listen, we got a lot of damage. We got a lot of homeless people. Listen, I'm out there, you know, helping them feed these people, and you can't imagine the young ladies that come there with 2, 3 kids, and you put it in the car, and they tell you that's all I got left.
That's tough.
Breaks your heart.
Yeah.
You know, and I think all agencies are giving it the best they can, you know, and how I said that on the occasions, never give up and we'll find a way. You know, we'll live off the land if we have to, but a lot of people have helped us, a lot of different states. In fact, I got an email this morning, I got to go with Mr. Sheremy that a group wants to come cook Saturday or Sunday. And, you know, I don't know how long this is going to go on for. We're starting to get back power. You know, more people are getting power, so the ice is a different situation now. And I can tell you this, Martin, we offloaded an 18-wheeler, 20 pallets of ice in 2 days at the Veterans. That was a lot of ice, man.
You know, I took the average. Most people, one guy said 150, everybody else said 180, 190. So if I average it, I get 165, 170. This is still a hell of a storm.
Well, you remember one, which really wasn't much of the
levees. It was a one, but it sat over us for 3 days.
Right. I mean, but the levees broke. If the levees would have broke here, we'd be like Leeville right now. I don't know if you went down the bayou, but below the floodgates to Leeville, they probably had about 25 houses at one time, and I think they got about 4 left.
Yeah.
They're gone completely.
But thank God the levees held in Lafourche and Terrebonne, because this would have been Katrina on steroids.
But you know who you could thank in Terrebonne and Lafourche? You thank the people that voted to tax themselves.
Exactly right.
We didn't get much money from that bureaucracy over there in Washington, you know, and then y'all are certified, I'm pretty sure, but we're not. So maybe now they could certify the South Lafourche levee system. It's a proven factor now. The worst storm that ever hit, and the levees held.
Yeah, this is the blueprint.
Who's the guy that we got to put a monument? Listen, I've been following the 11th district. I've been in office 38 years. I've been following the 11th district ever since and before. There's some great people that served on there, and they got some great people serving now. But the statue is going to probably be Wendell Kiro. Would you say that?
I would say God first.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, God.
No offense, Wendell, but I'd put God first.
Yeah. But you got to, you know, Wendell's been at this.
He has. No, you're absolutely correct.
I could remember Wendell's been at this a long time. I could remember me and Wendell side by side with a hurricane coming, trying to build a little shell levee, and electricity, all the transformers were popping, and he looked at me and I looked at him, and they said, we better get out of here. And we did that, you know, and hurricanes
I had Wendell on the phone when he was evacuated, and he said, I think we had about an 8 right now, Martin. I said, well, where's the weld mark on the Golden Meadow floodgate? He said 11. I said, well, we lost that a foot ago.
At Barker Honda, we're overflowing with used cars.
We have over 100 used cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to sell.
Many units under $8,000. Save thousands on light and used certified vehicles.
At Barker Honda, every unit goes through a 120-point inspection.
So you can buy with confidence.
Come see us today here at Barker Honda Used Cars.
Because you know it's better at Barker.
Our dear South Louisiana community is recovering from one of the worst storms our area has ever seen. At Cardiovascular Institute of the South, our hearts are with you, and we stand with you as we have for nearly 40 years. Times like these are a true testament to the unity and humanity of our vibrant community. We are resilient. We will rebuild, and we'll get through this. We have a bright future ahead, and we're moving forward. Together, we will emerge stronger than ever.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hafez Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hafez Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. In fact, some of the first people to settle along the bayou, the Acadians, were folks that had been expelled from their home country and left to fend for themselves. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before, and it's likely we'll hear it again. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. And when we do, we're gonna have a good time, just like we always do.
So that was 12 feet. It ended up getting 16 feet.
And remember, they added that 4 feet not long ago.
Right.
And thank God they did, you know, and back to they can only do what they can with the monies they have.
That's right.
You know, and they've done a great job. Everybody has done really a great job. The first responders, the sheriff's office, you know, we all tried. I mean, we could just do what we can.
I want to thank you. You always fighting for the people. I've always known that about you, and I appreciate you sharing a few words with us.
Can I say a couple of more things? You know, Charlotte and I didn't get along too well. We got along about 90% of the time, but that 10% was real bad. But you know, she called me the other day, and we talked, and we always stayed friends. In fact, we got a reunion coming, I believe, on October the 6th, 7th. She said she'll see me there. And she called me, and she wanted to remain anonymous. There were some people that was going to give some funding, and I gave her a few names of, you know, people that's in a bind, and I'm sure she'll take care of it. And I want to say one more thing. I always tell her this. She was parish president for 12 years, and she got more grants than all parish presidents put together, and that's coming from me.
All right.
You know.
Time for healing.
Oh, yeah. I go back and I think, and sometimes, you know, I'm not always right. There was a few times I was wrong, but I remember one thing Tordo said. You gotta, it's two ways over here. It's not a one-way street. You can go either way, and that's the way it should be. Right. But you learn from experience, you know. Listen, I've learned a lot. I'm not as rough as I used to be, but if you don't bark, you don't get nothing. And sometimes when you bark, you still don't get nothing.
Bark in the right spots right now, right?
Yeah. We need all the help we can get, and I personally want to thank everybody, you and your crew. I told you this the other day, you always bring the local news, you know, the Bayou news and the local people, and that's very important, because if we depend on all these big stations from New Orleans, once in a while they might put you a little sound bite. But you seen the damage? Mm-hmm. I mean, and not just here, in Chauvin, Terrebonne, all of them low, like we are, Leeville and all, that's Fouchon. That's your hub, Fouchon. Yeah. Hey, it got hit hard. But we're gonna put our head up, pray to God, and continue and get it done.
Rhea, tell me what's going on. The mayor tells me y'all doing a knockout job trying to get people back with some kind of purpose, and a lot of people unemployed at this point. But first of all, tell me, when did y'all, I guess, show up on the scene, and what's it been like?
It's been fantastic. We're here from the Louisiana Workforce Commission. We have been going to impacted areas, those areas that have been most impacted by Ida, helping people with their disaster unemployment assistance claims. So we're in Lafourche today and tomorrow. We have been to St. Helena Parish, Tangipahoa, Ascension, St. John, St. Charles, just wherever we need to be, wherever we need to go, that's where we'll go to make sure that our citizens get the help that they need.
How hard is it to come for people watching? What do they do when they get here?
So they just need to have proof of their identity. And these wonderful people at LWC will help them through the process. I know sometimes on the phone it's hard to get through just because of so many people trying to call at the same time. But you come here and we are socially distanced. We have people outside as well as inside our state-of-the-art mobile workforce center, and they will help them with their claims.
And we appreciate y'all being here. What's it like when you see the emotion on people and they're devastated, for lack of a better word, and y'all may be one of their only hopes they have to get moving forward?
This is why we do the work. This is what we're here for. We don't want to be stuck inside. We want to be out here helping the people, and that's what we're doing. And it's just so gratifying when people tell you how you've given them hope. So that's what we want to do. That's what we've always done. That's what we will continue to do.
A web page that they could go to if they're watching?
Absolutely, www.laworks.net.
Rhea, thank you so much for what you and your crew are doing. We appreciate it, and thank y'all for helping the people.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Our town is your town. Our state is your state. On the winding bayou, we always see you. Our men and women who protect our safety. Our town is safe because of you. You don't always hear it, so let me say it loudly and boldly. Let me display it. You're not forsaken. We truly thank you. Our town is safe because of you. As the badge goes on, the trucks get ready and then roll on. The highway is safe. The men in blue. Our town is safe because of you. And when the times get tough, our tough get going. While we sleep, Charlie Company is running. And once again, we say it sincerely. Thank you. Our town is safe because of you. At Beacon NDT Services, we thank you.
Broussard Dove handles business and residential hurricane claims. We have over 14 years experience dealing with insurance claims for hurricanes with proven results. We handled hurricane claims before Hurricane Ida and will be here for years to come after. We've recovered millions for business owners and homeowners. So if you need help with your hurricane claim, let us fight for you. Go to our website and fill out a form for a free claim review or give us a call. Broussard Dove, attorneys at law.
Instead of using prescription opioids to treat pain, it's time to consider other options. There are effective treatments available like acupuncture, nerve block therapy, and electrical nerve stimulation that can reduce your pain, get you back on your feet, and not put you at risk of becoming addicted. For more information or to get help with an addiction, visit opioidhelpla.org.
Make each day feel less every day in a Mazda CUV. Elevate every moment with available iActive all-wheel drive. Create a closer connection with the road and make your journey a little more extraordinary.
And now, drive home a new 2021 Mazda CX-9 and get 0% APR for 36 months at Barker Mazda in Homa or shop online at barkermazda.com.
Bacteria and germs run rampant in the air that surrounds us. It's more important than ever to keep our surroundings clean. Introducing BioPure. Specializing in commercial and residential disinfection applications, BioPure's advanced treatment process allows them to disinfect more surfaces quickly and effectively, with no inconvenience to staff or family members. Let BioPure help you create a better environment for everyone. Call for your free consultation today at 985-322-3003.
I guess it just depends on where we stop, on what we're actually going to see or who we're going to interview, but you've been through a few of these. Give me your assessment.
This is the worst I've been through in my lifetime. But one come closest is Betsy, and I can remember I was a young boy, but this was a tough one for our community. You know, we really got beat up, you know.
Yeah. And talking to the people, though, they seem a little knocked down, but not knocked out. But it's not going to be long before if FEMA, and I heard FEMA's in the area, and I'm not having any disparaging marks for them, but it's just a lot of people still haven't been contacted. Is it just because of the vast numbers?
I believe because of the numbers. FEMA's been on the ground for the last week, going door to door in the community, getting information. Now they got to feed it to their people. How long that will take, you know, that's where the snag comes in sometimes, you know, when you send it up the chain of command, you know. But they've been on the ground going house to house because a lot of people don't have internet, don't have phone service. So we ask them to come down and house to house, person to person. So it's been working out pretty good.
I'm told, as a matter of fact, I just interviewed Daniel Lorraine up the road. He told me that some of the homes that been up here for a while in Golden Meadow are no longer here.
There's homes that were there before I was born that's no more here. It's no longer here. And I just hope people can afford to stay here. I know we're going to lose some of our population because of the destruction of the hurricane, because people just don't have the money to rebuild, can't afford insurance. We had Hurricane Zeta last year. Some of them hadn't recovered from that hurricane, and you got this Ida came in, and it's a double whammy, you know. So I just know how much the community can take, you know. But we're strong. I feel we'll come back, but there's some that will not come back.
You know, like I said, we say Bayou strong. You could take Lafourche, you could take Terrebonne, all those areas, and there is a resilience about Bayou resident. But this one sure pushed it to the limit, didn't it?
It sure did, sir. It was very challenging, you know. I said it a few times, you know. I'm not going to say I'm afraid of a hurricane. I'm afraid of what I'm going to find after the hurricane. And I was very disappointed, you know, a little bit. Discouraged to see the community, how devastated it is, you know. You see it in people's eyes, you know, they're looking for help, and we can help so much at our level. You know, my level, parish president level, he's been working hard. The governor's been working hard, you know, and they give us everything we need. My job is to try to keep people comfortable, give them food, give them water, keep them comfortable until we can get some help from the federal government on housing.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned looking in people's eyes, shell-shocked, stunned, almost post-traumatic stress syndrome, if you want to call it that, but you can tell it's weighing on people.
It definitely is. You know, you got some people living in tents, you know, and heartbreaking for this at this time in the year 2000, living in a tent, you know what I'm saying? And we just hope we can find some shelter for them. Right now they got a lot of blue tarps, you know. Thank God it hadn't rained in a couple of days, but every time it rains, it's still raining in people's homes, you know. They gotta take cover in their own home when it rains, you know, cover themselves so they don't get wet.
And you have an unemployment service right in front of the town hall here, and obviously they're trying to help people right now who aren't working.
Well, definitely they're here, and there's a lot of people that help the town of Golden Meadow. I mean, people all over the country brought supplies and water and whatever we needed, you know. People from Houston, New York, Florida, Mississippi. We had a store, a part-time store we built under the town hall to give supplies out, you know what I'm saying? So the people in this country is making it happen for us in town to survive. Yeah. You know, they're bringing everything we need, you know. Sometimes we got to tell them to wait a week so we don't have enough room, but they'll wait a week and they'll bring their truckload in and we distribute it, you know. We got the Baptist Church, the Catholic Church, and different organizations serving food every day. Normally we have someone cooking every day. So, and Energy came in, they did a banged up job, you know. I have no complaints from my citizens on their services. So, you know, it's kind of like in the third world, you know, you didn't have water, you didn't have phone service, you didn't have utility, no gas, you know, for a couple of days. Reality check, you know. But every day it gets better.
Well, maybe we want to thank you too for, I mean, you're the person that they go to around here in times like this, and yeah, from what I've heard, you've kept people on the straight and narrow, and you keep them with a little encouragement. I think hope, they need some hope.
Hope and faith, you know, we'll get through this, and I'm here for the people. I'll do what I can, 110%.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Introducing the redesigned 2022 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross.
Schedule your test drive at BarkerMitsubishi.com.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea, which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you are a loved one or having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Domestic violence is daunting, and the psychological effects can do enduring damage. Obviously, all abuse needs to end. But how? The Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office is dedicated to ending domestic violence and helping those who have already experienced it. Our office supports many programs that educate and adjudicate abuse towards women. If you are a victim of abuse, call the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office at 873-6500.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
that time, John said to Jesus, "Teacher, we saw someone driving out demons in your name, and we tried to prevent him because he does not follow us." Jesus replied, "Do not prevent him. There is no one who performs mighty deeds in my name who can at the same time speak ill of me. For whoever is not against us is for us. Anyone who gives you a cup of water to drink because you belong to Christ, amen, amen, I say to you, surely will not lose his reward. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believes in me to sin, it would be better for him if a great millstone were put around his neck and he were thrown into a sea. If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life maimed than with two hands to go into Gehenna, into the unquenchable fire. And if your foot causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life crippled than with 2 feet to be thrown into Gehenna. And if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. Better for you to enter into the kingdom of God with 1 eye than with 2 eyes be thrown into Gehenna, where the worm does not die and the fire is not quenched. My brothers and sisters, the gospel of the Lord. Hello and welcome to Close Walk Catholic Communications. I'm Father Bayer, your host. We're glad that you can join us. And for a minute there, I acted like I was on the pulpit. The word of the Lord. Anyway, glad to have you. There is no one who performs mighty deeds in my name who at the same time can speak ill of me. One of, I think, the great tragedies of modern religion is the idea that so many Christian religions spend their time not talking about their belief system, but spend their time criticizing the belief systems of others. You know what? Now, and let me clarify this, because some people may think that for a Catholic priest to say this, it sounds offbeat. I'm a Roman Catholic. I believe in the Catholic Church. I believe that the Catholic Church is the one founded by Christ. And I believe with all of our faults and failings, and there have been many lately, I do believe in the promise that our Lord made to St. Peter when he said, "You are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against you. And whatever you declare bound on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you declare loosed on earth shall be loosed in heaven." I believe that. But my belief in that does not give me the right or the opportunity to go around and start to criticize other Christian communities who gather as churches and spend my time knocking what they believe. I had an incident, and we had a local television evangelist. He was very, very prominent throughout the world, very Catholic. I mean, very, very well known and very anti-Catholic. And as time went on, he was kind of caught doing something he wasn't supposed to do, and the empire has suffered, okay? At one point, he was taking in $1 million a day, and that's changed tremendously for him because of his faults and his failings. Now, when I say that, he certainly didn't do anything that a Catholic priest, a rabbi, or an imam hadn't done, because all of us are human. But it wasn't his particular failing that I think doomed him, as much as it was his antagonism and his criticism of other Christian churches, and in particular the Catholic Church. Well, when all that happened, one of his head guys ended up working in the state prison with me. And we became really, really good friends. And we ended up taking our day off together. And so it was an overnight. We went and spent a lot of time talking, about everything. And he was Church of Christ, I think. But he was born and raised in Florida. His family was very, very committed Church of Christ people. And he grew up in that tradition and became a Church of Christ minister. I, on the other hand, was born into a very, very Catholic family and, ended up becoming a Catholic priest. We had a lot of very, very similar ideas about church, about living our lives, about how to preach the gospel. We were very, very similar. But he was raised in a different tradition than I was. And he's a good man and a holy man. And a holy man who's trying for holiness. And so, we had that conversation about then, how do you spend, or you were associated with someone who spent his time being so anti-Catholic. He said, that was a great pain for me. And when our Lord says, if they're not against us, don't stop them. And I think we spend way too much time. Now, I think we spend way too much time criticizing other Christian communions. And one of the things we need to understand is we're not the enemy. Each other who proclaims Jesus Christ as the Son of God and the Savior of the world, we're not the enemy. Now, does that mean that I don't believe it matters what church you go to? No, I do. I take great pain in knowing that someone has left the Catholic Church and has left the sacramental life of the church to go into a church where there may be entertained more, okay? Maybe, they've got better music or an orchestra, whatever. But I still don't think those people are bad people. It just makes me sad when someone who's been exposed to the truth and to the sacraments abandons that for the sake of convenience. Well, they'll let you marry as many times as you want, or they don't make you do this, or you don't have to do that, and you don't have to go every Sunday, and I feel much better, and it's a much better fit for me, and I don't feel as guilty. All those things. The things that I think are part of our religion and part of our great beauty and our great integrity. But at the same time, for the Christian churches to destroy one another and try to criticize one another, who in the hell am I to tell anybody you're not holy enough? God, I've got so far to go in my own holiness. I've got so far to go in my own prayer life. I've got so far to go into becoming the man that God truly has called me to be. I can't stand here and say, I'm better than you are. I try to be faithful. I do believe that my tradition is a true church. But I'm sure not about ready to say, I'm the one to judge because I'm so perfect. You know, there really are people out there who would like to destroy Christianity. And as you destroy Christianity, you know, the way to take on a sled of dogs is to kill the lead dog. And make no mistake about it, the Catholic Church is the lead dog in this sled. We're the ones who are universally gathered together. We have universal teachings, and we're the only ones strong enough to fight the other agendas. It's a pretty strong atheistic movement afoot in this country. And that's okay if you don't believe. That really is okay if you don't believe. But don't try to stop my beliefs and prevent me from living them. Don't put up bulletin boards that have symbols for Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and all with the red circle and the line through it. And don't put up a bulletin board that says, friends don't let friends believe in imaginary people. And there are things like that going on. Don't believe, that's fine. Don't tell me I can't believe. And don't tell me that your religion is against Christianity and you think we need to be enslaved and you think there's a dimnitude that we owe you in non-Christian countries just to live out our faith. Don't tell me that. I'm not going to tell you that. And predominantly Muslim countries where there's a theocracy, there's a price to pay for your Christianity. I don't think there ought to be a price to pay if you're Muslim. I think as long as you respect and live by the rules of this country, you have as much right to worship God as I do, Methodist, Lutherist, Buddhist, whatever. We need to respect that. But that's not the case. That's not always the case. That among those who want to destroy Christianity. And I think it's an important point. And I think we need to realize that. As with many other things in our country today, you're not allowed to dissent from the groupthink. You're not allowed to have a mind of your own. You're not allowed to say marriage is between a man and a woman. You're not allowed to say that a child is a child at the moment of conception. You're not allowed to say that. And it's that intolerance that we deal with. And as we find faith under attack, for God's sakes, as Christians, we need to respect and work together and not aid them in destroying one another. We need to respect that and we need to work together. As Christ says, okay, they're using my name. No one who uses my name can be against me. Let's realize that. And let's talk about it more in the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be back. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believes in me to sin, it would be better for him if a great millstone were put around his neck and he were thrown into the sea. If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. If your foot causes you to sin, cut it off. If your eyes cause you to sin, pluck it out. Better for you to enter the kingdom of God with one eye than to be thrown into Gehenna. Hello and welcome back to Closer Walk Catholic Communications. Father Bayer, your host, and we're glad you're joining us. And this is not going to be a fun segment to listen to. First of all, you know, I don't believe this is the gospel of self-mutilation. You know, I don't think we're called to cut off hands, feet, gouge out eyes, although probably 25 years ago now, we had a situation upstate. Young boy, And his mother kept finding, you know, pornography, and in those days it was still magazines, and she took him to the preacher, and he gouged out an eye. The kid died of the infection. Now, is the Lord calling for self-mutilation? If so, every parking spot in the church would be handicap accessible only, okay? You know, and I sure wouldn't be looking into the camera. I'd be looking all over the place, all right? So that reality is, first of all, when people take the gospel literally, the literal meaning is there's nothing more important than your salvation. That's the point. The point is not self-mutilation. The point is to rid yourself of all the things that cause us sin. And they're going to come back, and they're going to pop up again here, there, you never know where. Like nowadays, you can't watch television commercials without some sort of enticement, okay? Well, such is life. But the point is nothing more important than our own salvation. Nowadays, that is really, really a great challenge. And this is primarily an address to our male audience about how prevalent online pornography has become. You know, in the parish, I'm going to tell you that probably 70% of my male confessions over the age of 12 involve some form of pornography. It is so destructive. It is so, it's addictive like anything else is addictive. And of course, all the actions that follow that viewing of pornography. And the realization that it's so prevalent. And, you know, and I laugh because I had 3 older brothers. Well, we didn't have cell phones, right? We didn't have the internet. We had, you know, 3 channels on the television, all right? So that's what we grew up with. And as I got older, you know, I eventually found the Playboys. I had to climb up in the closet, but I found them, okay? And that's another whole story about the first time I went to confession and tell the priest I looked at a Playboy, all right? That was, and then he said, well, Jeff, oh God, he knows I'm a pervert. But anyway, I've never identified anyone in a confession since then, okay? But my point is anyone who's got any electronic advice, this stuff is anywheres, this stuff is everywhere. And if you don't go looking for it, it comes looking for you. You get all these pop-ups up. I had my secretary with me the other day, and I was going through my junk mail, and all the things that are offering me cute Asian women or Russian women or more wrenches or more stamina, all this stuff, it just comes. You don't have to go looking for it. It comes looking for you. And the reality is, it is destroying a lot of people. You want to hear an interesting statistic? During the pandemic shutdown, you know what was the largest demographic to access a place called Pornhub? And Pornhub, from what I understand, is your pornography superstore. You go there and you can access anything from that store. Anything that people fantasize about, it's in the Pornhub. You know what demographic accessed Pornhub more than anyone else during the pandemic? 10 to 14-year-old males. Do you know what happens when a young child starts to explore his natural curiosity about human sexuality, and he does it online, this person will never, ever have a loving, intimate, sexual relationship with the spouse for the rest of their lives. People do not swing from chandeliers at home, okay? That doesn't happen. But when these kids start to see this is reality, well, it's got to be. Every way you look, here it is. It's really, really very dangerous. And the reality of pornography destroying people's lives, their marriages, their relationships, it's very, very real. And look, you get addicted to it like you get addicted to cigarettes, drinking, any other form of addiction. You know, the other part of it is, and I tell them all the time, you are part of the objectification of human life that leads to human slavery. How many people look at porn and say, you know what? I wonder if she's made her confirmation yet. I wonder if she goes to church on Sunday. That's somebody's daughter. That's someone's granddaughter or son. And we don't care. They're there for our pleasure, whatever that might be. And we objectify human life by looking at pornography. Therefore, we're part of that group that thinks a human life can be a matter of profit, pleasure, or possession. That's the same mentality that leads to 48 million human slaves worldwide, 90% of them in the sex trade. And you're participating in it. So what do I do besides rant and rave about it? I invite my male persons, when they access these porn sites, whatever device you use, go to your screensaver. Put a picture of your wife, put a picture of your children, put a picture of your grandchildren. And I want you to look at that next time you go to access your fun site and wonder how you would feel if your daughter or your granddaughter or your son or your grandson was the star of the next show you're getting ready to watch. That's your bucket of cold water. And when it says it would be better that a millstone be tied around your neck rather than to cause one of these little ones to sin. That goes back to what we've been through as a church. The horrors of child abuse. And I would like to say there's no excuse for it. Excuse me. And saying that there's no excuse for it means there's probably no apology that is sufficient. But with that being said, I think the sadness of the denigration of human sexuality is rampant. It's rampant. And in some cases, it involves children. And on behalf of those affected by people in the Catholic Church, it's my great shame and my great horror. But I'm truly sorry anything like that has ever happened. And I hope that you're ministered to and cared for in your need. But with that being said, it's not only in the Catholic Church. It's been part of cults for a long time. Unfortunately, it's been part of the scouting program. It's been part of any programs that focuses on children. People have taken the most vulnerable among us and abused their trust. There are even groups, it's a group called NAMBLA, North American Man-Boy Love Association, that promotes crazy stuff like that. All of this is a distortion of the gift of human sexuality. And the distortion of the gift of human sexuality is what has led us to this type of abuse. Unfortunately, there's a great distortion of human sexuality that's continuing. When we talk about choosing your own gender, when we talk about marrying whoever you want, when we talk about all these different expressions, it's very unhealthy. It's contrary to God's law. It's contrary to natural law. And I hope that we return to a Christian understanding of human sexuality, because nothing else is going to change it.
Led by a 7-member commission, the Terrebonne Port was created to assist our local industry in promoting economic development. We monitor government regulations that affect our local industry and work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to secure maintenance dredging funds. Because the HNC is the main artery for the heartbeat of Terrebonne's economy, Terrebonne Port fights a constant battle for funding to maintain the federally authorized navigable depth. We are now leasing waterfront and non-waterfront property. Terrebonne Port Commission, serving our industry to keep Terrebonne thriving.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
HTV would like to inform all of you that Friday night sports game highlights will no longer air on Friday nights. HTV will choose 3 games per week, and those highlights will be featured on our Sports in the Bayou program that will air Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Join Bobby Hebert, Mike Detillier, Rich Marty, Stan Gravois, Harry McCullough, Dr. Pat Hagan, and Martin False as they bring you all of the Saints, LSU, Nicholls State, and high school highlights on a weekly basis.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. In fact, some of the first people to settle along the bayou, the Acadians, were folks that had been expelled from their home country and left to fend for themselves. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before, and it's likely we'll hear it again. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. And when we do, we're gonna have a good time, just like we always do.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute, in conjunction with Barker Honda.
What was kind of the mindset going into that last drive in the fourth quarter? I mean, you guys had kind of struggled the 3 preceding drives, but Taysom said you had a lot of confidence just to put together a long drive and kill some clock there.
Finish. That was simple. Just finish and get the win.
Jeff Nowak.
Hey, Jameis. So when you're playing across from a defense that's having the type of day y'all did today, does that affect kind of how you approach some of these situations, knowing that just not putting the defense in a disadvantaged position is probably going to be enough?
Yeah, well, we just knew that we just had to protect the football, and we were going to come off winning this game. I think we ran the ball really well. I think our defense played really well, and we protected the football, and that's the formula to winning games in the NFL.
Jeff Duncan.
Yeah, along those lines, Jameis, how often did you hear that message this week from you and just the whole team, from Coach Payton, about that turnover ratio in New England?
I mean, I think it was our key to victory. So we knew we had to come in and do that, and we did that, and that's why we won.
Mike Triplett.
Jameis, can you talk us through your decision to throw the TD pass to Marcos Callaway, even though you were kind of wrapped up?
Yeah,
what did you see on that play?
That was all God. I felt 0, so I checked it, and that was all God. Like, I was trying to throw that ball away. Marquez went up there and snatched it. So, touchdown, good guys.
What was the message to you after that throw? Like, don't do it again, but good throw? Or
if you're throwing away, make sure you throw it away. I said, and I told him, I said, God. I said, Coach, that's all God. Can't get in the way of God's plan.
Amy Just.
Yeah, on that, did you know it was a free play, or were you just going for it?
No, I did not know it was a free play.
Luke Johnson.
James, on that last drive, how clutch was Deontay, especially on that third down play, just to keep that drive going?
It was excellent. He created some separation, got open, and it was delivered to him.
Rod Walker.
Hey, James, how excited are you just to be, getting a chance to come back to New Orleans, and also follow up on that? What have you kind of learned about this team these past 3 weeks?
Man, I'm more than excited to be able to prepare to play a team in our home stadium. I think we're all excited for that. We excited to get out of Dallas, and we're excited to come home, man. Like, that's what we do it for. We did it for the city. We knew that we needed to get a win we knew everybody was going to be coming ready to represent anyway, but we know it would have been better taste in our mouths and a better taste in the city for us to come up here and get a good win in Foxborough.
Jeff Duncan.
Yeah, James, you've played in this league a while now. I mean, can you put into context what it means to come into this stadium against this team with that head coach on the other sidelines? I mean, not a lot of teams come in here and win in this place.
Yeah, I'm playing for my head coach. So our head coach, he has a lot of accolades as well. But again, we definitely revere Coach Belichick. He's definitely a Hall of Fame coach. But I'm just happy that we were able to come in as a team. Defense dominated, offensive line did their thing. They dominated the line of scrimmage. AK had a heck of a day. And we made plays in the passing game when we needed to. Taysom stepped up huge, carrying the load also on that last drive. So we played Saints football, and that's how we're playing right now. We protect the football and got a great win, and we're excited, man. We're excited to come back home and finally let other teams feel the wrath of our fans.
Brooke.
Jameis, I know communication was a big key this week, and the protections. It seemed like the offensive line, especially with Teron Armstead even going out, they were able to step up and continue to protect you well. Just how did you feel your communication was better this week and the protection from the offensive line?
I think we did a better job communicating. James Hurst did an incredible job, and Landon coming in, filling in for James, of being resilient, man. We're going to see where the details on Teron, but we know we would love to have him back as speedily as possible. But these guys, guys have been very resilient. Like I say, every week, man, I got the best offensive line in the whole league, man. For 2 weeks, right? We lose Eric McCoy, Caesar, and Calvin come in and they pick up the load, right? And they did an excellent job today. And then we lose to Ron today early, and James Hurst picks up the load, man. It just talks a lot about that room, how important it is for those guys to have continuity and be together. And I'm just happy that those guys were able to persevere today.
Fletcher Mackel.
Jameis, if I can follow up on something you just said, I think obviously people know you, the big arm and the ability to go vertical, and Sean and Drew, what they did here for so many years. You just said Saints football. Is Saints football now efficiency and physicality up front?
Well, Saints football has always been efficiency and physicality up front. I mean, them the only Saints that I knew. So, yeah. That's all I know about the Saints. They went up front, and they play tough, and that's what we did here. I think the best thing is it's so challenging to win in this league. So any way that you do it to the best of your abilities. Obviously, I know I got to get better at the quarterback position, and I'm gonna continue to do that. But I'm happy that we got this win.
At Barker Honda, we're overflowing with used cars.
We have over 100 used cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to sell.
Many units under $8,000. Save thousands on light and used certified vehicles.
At Barker Honda, every unit goes through a 120-point inspection.
So you can buy with confidence.
Come see us today here at Barker Honda Used Cars.
Because you know it's better at Barker.
Bacteria and germs run rampant in the air that surrounds us. It's more important than ever to keep our surroundings clean. Introducing BioPure. Specializing in commercial and residential disinfection applications, BioPure's advanced treatment process allows them to disinfect more surfaces quickly and effectively, with no inconvenience to staff or family members. Let BioPure help you create a better environment for everyone. Call for your free consultation today at 985-322-3003. Broussard Dove handles business and residential hurricane claims. We have over 14 years experience dealing with insurance claims for hurricanes with proven results. We handled hurricane claims before Hurricane Ida and will be here for years to come after. We've recovered millions for business owners and homeowners. So if you need help with your hurricane claim, let us fight for you. Go to our website and fill out a form for a free claim review or give us a call. Broussard Dove, attorneys at law.
I feel so overwhelmed. Being a mom, wife, employee, and now a teacher is exhausting. How do I keep my family safe from everything going on in the world?
Do any of these thoughts sound familiar to you? If so, you are not alone. The South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority offers support, counseling, and treatment geared at helping you where you are right now in the midst of this pandemic and your own personal crisis. The South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority, helping people, changing lives.
Pelican Waste and Debris is your local company. We don't just work here, we live here and understand the unique challenges that face our region. Our commitment to our community and customers and love for Louisiana keeps us motivated. Pelican meets every residential and commercial service need, offering roll-off, front-load, and compactor services, ideal for hotels, restaurants, apartments, construction or industrial sites, and much more. We also make recycling simple and cost-efficient, offering single-stream recycling program options. We have set the highest standards for environmental protection, community engagement, and guaranteed client satisfaction. Visit pelicanwaste.net or call us at 985-873-9553 to save money with hassle-free service. Our team has over 100 years of experience, so we know how to make you happy. The sky is the limit, so fly with the Pelican.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
How does it feel to be home? Like, what was going through your mind last night when you were flying back after being away for nearly a month?
We couldn't wait to get home. I know a lot of guys couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I think
I think we were more happy about going home after the win. You know, the win was the first thing on our mind. But after we won, as soon as we got to the locker room, you could hear us chanting going into the locker room, "We're going home." You know, we're going home. So everybody's happy to get home. I'm happy. I finally slept in my bed finally, and just just happy to be here.
Luke Johnson.
And Marquez, I'm just curious what you guys think. You guys have won 2 out of 3, playing pretty good team football, but like, are you kind of excited for this thing to open up offensively a little bit? Just passing numbers haven't been like huge through 3 weeks, but you're still winning ball.
Oh, one more time, sorry.
Yeah, are you just? What's your kind of view of the passing offense right now? I mean, y'all are winning games. You haven't needed big games offensively, but you know that you only have like less than 400 yards in the season. Are you kind of just assuming that's going to open up at some point?
Yeah, you know, being a receiver, you know, we always want the ball thrown. We always want to throw the ball every play, but you know, in this league, you got to run to win. And coach says all the time, we have great backs, and we know if once the run gets going, then the passing will open up. So, you know, we do what we can, blocking and um, doing everything to make the run happen. And once that starts happening, then the passing game will open up and it'll be beneficial to us.
Catherine Terrell.
Hey, Marquez. First of all, congrats on actually getting to go home. I think we all feel like you do. Great to be back in your own bed, I'm sure. Can you take us back through that your first touchdown yesterday? What kind of coverage they were playing, what you were seeing, and how it feels to, you know, finally get that one out of the way?
It's great finally getting out the way. You know, it's a blessing. You know, never thought it would come or thought it would come sooner, but you know, everything happens in time. But really, it was a kill play that James killed, and then I had a kind of like a post trying to cross his face, and he grabbed me, and I didn't know it was a flag, and James said he didn't know it was a flag. So you know, we just keep playing ball, and that's what happened. And I didn't know James was throwing it out. I thought he was just throwing it up for me to have a chance. So I guess it kind of worked out in both of our favors.
Amy Just.
Yeah, on that play, you like, how do you practice that? Like you said, like Jameis said, he wasn't even trying to throw it to you. Is that just luck, good opportunity, or a little bit of preparation sprinkled into that too?
People say it's luck. I say a little bit of both. You know, him throwing it out. If he was throwing it out, I'm pretty sure he would have thrown it out. You know, but him, I know he's going through a lot of pressure and everything. So he's just trying to get it to the back of the end zone out. And I'm just, you know, being a ball player, just trying to catch the ball. You know, that's what we taught. Every ball thrown, especially to us, got to catch. So not knowing it's going out, you know, just thinking it's a jump ball. So he's thinking he's throwing out. I'm thinking it's a jump ball. And I guess it kind of just meet in the middle.
Brett Martell, or excuse me, Nick Underhill.
Were those kind of your basketball skills there going up for a rebound? It seemed like you kind of had to like trail back a little bit and just kind of box out a little bit to get it.
Oh, one of my coaches had sent me a message after the game and said I had channeled my inner basketball, but that's exactly what it was. But yeah, I guess you could say that.
And then just overall, how do you feel like you're settling in now that it's regular season? You got a couple games and you're kind of getting out there and you know, having a little more action is the, you know, number one guy kind of.
I think it's good coming in, you know, getting a few games under your belt just so everybody can get calmed down. You know, beginning of the season, you know, it's a long off season, everybody's ready to play. Then you see a lot of things that you weren't prepared for because, you know, first game, everybody's trying to, whether it's a new coach, new team, new quarterback, new whatever. So everybody's trying to get acclimated to that, even though the offseason, this actually, the first game is actually the first test to everything. So going from the first to the second game was a huge jump. And, you know, we watch film, learn from it. Then we go from the second to third game, going into another hostile environment. And playing win there is Mario and all the defense. Everybody says all the time, you know, it's hard to win. and never forget the feeling of winning. And that's what we cherish. That 24-hour thing, a lot of people don't like it, but that's what we go on, you know. Win or lose, you have 24 hours to take it in, enjoy it, and move on to the next. So today, we get a good lift in and watch the film, and then prepare for New York.
Martel.
Yeah, hey there. Are there some unusual challenges to being home this particular week in terms of taking stock, of, your property for the first time since the storm, attending to anything that needs to be attended to, cleaning up. I know your friend Juwan Johnson will probably have to spend a lot of time restocking his refrigerator, things like that. But how are you going to kind of manage that with compartmentalizing, when you're in the building working on football?
We all been through adversity, so I don't think this is going to be any different. We've been away for so long because Coach wanted us, when we come back home, not having to worry about anything. But obviously, the worries are still there. It's just less. We don't have to worry as much as we would have if we would have came back earlier. So I think Coach and them done a good job in that aspect. So now we got 2 off days. We're gonna get as much done in these days we have off, whether to our family, whether to our apartment, our house, whatever it is. And then Wednesday, by the time Wednesday comes around, we start getting our focus and ready to play.
At Barker Honda, we're overflowing with used cars.
We have over 100 used cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to sell.
Many units under $8,000. Save thousands on light and used certified vehicles.
At Barker Honda, every unit goes through a 120-point inspection.
So you can buy with confidence.
Come see us today here at Barker Honda Used Cars.
Because you know it's better at Barker.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin & Bork and Hoffa's Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin & Bork and Hoffa's Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea, which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you or a loved one are having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Everyone needs help at some point during their life. The anxiety and sadness that you may be feeling right now can be conquered with the help of experienced counselors. The South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority call line is standing by right now, ready to assist you. Pick up the phone and call 1-877-500-9997 and let us help you through the crisis in your life. Helping people, changing lives. Let our caring staff help you today.
Leg pain, swelling, or ulcers can be signs of vascular disease in the legs. This lack of blood flow can lead to amputation if not treated. Varicose or spider veins may also be signs of venous disease and are more than just a cosmetic problem. Trust the most advanced team of leg pain specialists at Cardiovascular Institute of the South to reopen blockages in the legs and offer minimally invasive in-clinic vein treatments. If you experience leg pain, swelling, or have visible veins, schedule an appointment with us today at cardio.com.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Value Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Welcome home. What was it like after the game last night when y'all are chanting, we're going home, and, actually getting, to sleep in your own bed after a month?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a month that we've been gone from home. That's a lot of time to spend away from your family, your spouses, your kids, and just not being in your normal routine, especially early in the season. And so, definitely glad that's in the past. And it was just good to be back home, seeing the wife, seeing the kids, sleeping in your own bed. Even coming into the facility, and the facility even feels weird because we haven't even been here, in a while. And so, just looking to get back to some normalcy.
Mike Triplett.
What about that being back home energy when you guys are actually on the field in the Superdome? You think that combined with the way you guys are playing defense right now will give you guys a real strong edge?
Say it one time. You were kind of breaking up a little bit.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my audio, but how much do you think you'll have an extra special home field advantage being overdue, being back in that building, combined with the way your defense is playing right now?
Oh, man, can't wait for that. It's going to be electric in that place for sure. Just understanding that we went through an entire season where we weren't really able to be at full capacity and have our fans in the stadium and have them behind us, and then having that anticipation and then our game being moved. I just know that for what this team means to the city and the fan base, it's gonna be crazy in that building, and I can't wait for it.
Amy Just.
Yeah, Tam went home before you, but what is your house looking like? You get today sort of off and tomorrow sort of off. So what are you doing in these next couple of days to, get everything ready, situated at home when you haven't been there for a month, so you can focus on the game week ahead of you?
Yeah, it's been fortunate. We were fortunate our house didn't have a lot of damage, so it wasn't too much. And my wife got a chance to go, and she's been phenomenal. And her family has been up and just kind of helping her get everything. So I was able to come home to a house pretty much of peace, and not a lot needs to be done. And but that little bit that we'll still have to do, I'll be able to help with that, and really just getting a lot of time with my kids is what I'm excited about, because even that they were there with me, we were kind of in a hotel and weren't able to move around as much as we would have liked. And so, we have those down days. I really try to get a lot of time with my kids because the season is so demanding. And so even if it's just taking them to their extracurricular activity, like my daughter has a dance class, and I'm excited to take her to that. And then they see daddy-daughter dates afterwards, and me taking them to a fast food restaurant. They enjoy that time. We just sit in the car and eat ice cream and talk or whatever. And so I look forward to those times. And so, and then that, and I think the biggest part for me is for us also to kind of assess. Everybody's not as fortunate in our building with staff and, from the top to the bottom, and all the workers and important people that are behind the scenes that make this entire thing go, but make sure that they have all the support that they need, and kind of try to be there for them, and then extend out to the city, understanding where outreach is happening in different locations.
try to get in on that. And so this is a collective effort. I always just try to remember that it's not just about what's going on with you individually, whether that's good or bad. It's about the people around you because, you know, the harmony is the collective. And so everyone needs to be at a good place for that harmony to exist in the best possible manner.
Amy, go ahead.
Yeah, hard to transition to a football question after that. But I'm going to try to anyway. So Pete Werner was back this week after missing a game. How did you feel that he did stepping up and starting and playing a considerable amount of snaps yesterday?
I thought he played phenomenal. He made a lot of good plays in the packages that he was used in, showed his athleticism, showed his physicality, showed his understanding of the defense. And that's the type of league it is. And when your number's called, you got to be ready. And he showed up as, I feel like, as good as a rookie can do in this game. And you just understand you don't put too much on their plate. But they're able to go out and show their skill set, play fast, and you know, show why they were brought in. And he did that. And not just him, the entire linebacker group just played well. Andrew Dial had a big block, and Caden Ellis stepped in some packages and provided pressure on the quarterback, made some big plays. Zach did his thing, and you know, we take a lot of pride in that, and being the energy of the defense and or the team really.
For years, Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford & Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
I have such respect and pride for our company, and I'm excited to bring new and innovative ideas to our clients.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
C-Level Construction provides turnkey services for the heavy civil construction industry. Working in the industrial and municipal markets, the C-Level team performs a range of services such as pile driving, drilled deep foundations, structural steel fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, and site work development. C-Level also has a marine yard in Houma called Eagle Dry Dock and Marine Services that offers services for the marine transportation and construction industries. Call C-Level Construction today to set the foundations for your next big project.
A new company with a lot of history. GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.
Domestic violence is daunting, and the psychological effects can do enduring damage. Obviously, all abuse needs to end. But how? The Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office is dedicated to ending domestic violence and helping those who have already experienced it. Our office supports many programs that educate and adjudicate abuse towards women. If you are a victim of abuse, call the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office at 873-6500.
All right, on this episode of One-on-One, I'm going to sit down with Coach Richard Curlin. A lot of you in the area have heard of Coach Curlin as a state championship, done a lot of great things at South Terrebonne. He's my guest tonight. We'll be right back. One-on-One is brought to you by the law office of Waits and Downer.
The person who's been catastrophically injured is the one who needs experienced help.
My grandfather was 100% about compassion for the client, and so am I.
And one of the secrets is to always know your case better than your opposing counsel knows his or her case.
Helping people, fighting for people. Money can't buy that. I'm Mary Riviere, and when you come through our doors at Waits and Downer, you're part of our family.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Will I ever see my family again? Do they even remember I'm here? I feel so alone. Do any of these thoughts sound familiar to you? If so, you are not alone. The South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority offers support, counseling, and treatment geared at helping you where you are right now in the midst of this pandemic and your own personal crisis. The South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority, helping people, changing lives.
Dreams, as powerful as they are, can be vulnerable.
Quite scary as it enters the Gulf. Millions without power.
At Hancock Whitney, we fight for the dreams of our clients. Because we're not just a bank. We're 4,000 of your friends, neighbors, and customers. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South's Ambulatory Surgery Center offers patients advanced and innovative outpatient procedures using the latest technology and treatment options. The first of its kind in the region, this center provides our patients and their families with high-quality care in a convenient, comfortable, and safe environment at a lower cost. Trust your care to the cardiovascular care team you know and love at CIS. Learn more at cardio.com.
Let's face it, South Terrebonne has a history of looking past LSU. If you look at Skippy, well, LSU wanted him. If you look at Troy, if you look at Clarence, well, not a whole lot of people recruited Clarence, and look where he ended up. But so it's almost like South Terrebonne, you had a little independence, you know?
Yeah.
Did y'all push that in each other? Where did that come from? Because y'all had your own mind over there at South Terrebonne.
I really don't know. I mean, we had a few guys, Tommy Boudreau, Lionel Wallace, you know.
True.
They ended up going. I played with Lionel. Lionel was a year behind me. I think Lionel was in between me and Skippy.
You wouldn't see the killer instinct in him on the field, but he was a go-to guy.
Yeah. Put him on a basketball court, you know, or you put him on a football field.
Yeah.
I can remember several games during our senior year that you know, we ended up having to throw it to the end zone and let Lionel jump up and just go over 3 or 4 guys and come down with it to win the game, you know.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good football team my senior year. I think we only lost 1 game. We lost to Hanville 2-0 on a safety. I think our punter had actually snapped it over the punter's head and out of the end zone, and that's how we lost that game. And then we had went to South Lafourche, played them in just a pouring rain. I can remember chasing a guy by the name of Barney O'Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
All over the football field. That was my assignment, to block Barney, but you had to catch him before you could block.
And Barney O'Quinn was a 4-sport letterman in track.
Oh, yeah.
Heck of a pole vault, a heck of a javelin throw, high jump. You were a heck of a track guy, too. You were taking home a lot of medals. And I remember clearly the discus, correct me if I'm wrong, but discus was your best track event, but you were shot putting too, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I actually had the district record in the shot put.
Okay.
Didn't last but a couple of years. But talking about Varney, funny story about that. The district track meet, the week of the district track meet, Varney's track coach showed him how to throw the discus. Okay, now he already, I think he high jumped, he pole vaulted, okay, threw the javelin. Well, let's give him something. Let's give him something else to do. Oh yeah,
yeah, because you could do 4. Yeah.
That week showed him how to throw the discus. He beat me in the district track meet in the discus that week. That's how good of an athlete he was.
It was just unbelievable. He would have been a good decathlete in the decathlon.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, so I ended up qualifying for the state track meet in the discus. I just missed it in the shot put at the regional meet, and we ended up, going to Baton Rouge. And the day of the state track meet, it started raining, so they moved it indoors, and they ran some of the events indoors. And then we were supposed to come back the next day and go back over there and finish it. They didn't run the 100, or any. Didn't throw the discus or anything like that. So we all met up at the school the next day, and one of the track coaches, Raymond Taylor, he showed up. Mike Adams was one of the other coaches, and Mike hadn't shown up yet. And Raymond called him and said, "We're going to the meet." And Mike had either he had heard or something that they weren't going to have it that day, and so we ended up not going, and they ended up running it. And so I didn't get to participate, which I might have placed 5th or 6th or something like that. But a guy like Terry Mulligan had a chance to win it.
I remember going to the parish meet because I love track, and I'd go watch all of y'all and right out the blocks. I don't remember his time. Was he a 9.5 guy or something?
I don't remember exactly.
He was fast. I know
he was
that.
faster than me.
And of course, Paul Hobgood had those Terrebonne teams too. That were
well. While we were there on that Saturday, since we were waiting, a couple of the guys, we walked over across the street to Bernie Moore Stadium, and South Terrebonne baseball team was playing in the state playoffs right there, and we actually went into the dugout and sat in the dugout just watching the game. And that was the year that we had the bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes. On the 3rd strike, the ball gets by our catcher at the time, Henry Rodriguez, and Henry goes to the backstop and gets it, and Barry Pellegrin, who was a pitcher at the time, was coming to the plate, and Henry goes to first and overthrows the first baseman, and it goes to the fence, and grand slam on a strikeout. Wow! That's the only time that
I've ever heard that.
Oh, really? That's the only time that South Terrebonne ever made Sports Illustrated.
Really?
You know how they used to have the little captions at the. They made that right there.
That's a home run.
On a strikeout.
On a strikeout.
Not a home run. Grand slam.
Grand slam. I mean,
it cleared the bases.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that scenario, but South Terrebonne's in the books.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
The person who's been catastrophically injured is the one who needs experienced help.
My grandfather was 100% about compassion for the client, and so am I.
And one of the secrets is to always know your case better than your opposing counsel knows his or her case.
Helping people, fighting for people. Money can't buy that.
I'm Joseph Waits III, and when you come through our doors, you are part of our family.
Hi, I'm Orlando Williams, and I live in Terrebonne Parish, and I'm vaccinated. How about you? My father entered the hospital with COVID in its early stages. My daddy lived till day 13, and to wake up to a call at 6:45 from the doctor saying you have 2 minutes to get the rest of your family on the phone. He had to die alone. I made it my mission to make sure no other family had to feel this.
Whether it's directions for out-of-towners or coffee for morning people, the Civic Stop has what you're looking for. From propane, air pump, 24-hour pay at the pump, and Speed Pass. We accept Fuel Man and also have an ATM on site. Fishermen stop here for bait and ice specials with a fill-up. Stop in for a free 6-ounce cup of coffee till 8 a.m. And don't forget about Subway. Not only do we serve great Subway sandwiches, but breakfast too. So stop in and see the difference with friendly and helpful employees at the Civic Stop. 3040 Barrow Street next to the Civic Center in Houma.
I think it's a great day to teach outside now. The sunny sky's calling my name. Just can't stay in the classroom all day. I gotta get out and teach students today. Everybody's smiling when I teach today. Everybody's learning when I teach today. Everybody sings, we learn today. It's a teaching kind of day.
Domestic violence is daunting, and the psychological effects can do enduring damage. Obviously, all abuse needs to end. But how? The Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office is dedicated to ending domestic violence and helping those who have already experienced it. Our office supports many programs that educate and adjudicate abuse towards women. If you are a victim of abuse, call the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office at 873-6500.
So you go, now tell me some of the athletes in college. You were telling me before we came on about Joe Delaney, pretty good athlete. I mean, just pretty good running back. When you got from high school to college, and before I let you answer this, I'll tell you a story. Me and Harry McCullough used to go cover the Saints games when they'd leave you on the field. Now it's so orchestrated. All the way there, I kept telling Harry, Saints were playing Minnesota. I said, I don't get this about Herschel Walker. Watch him on TV. He's so mechanical. He's all right, you know. And Harry said, you kidding me? I said, I just don't get the hype. He's fast. Well, we on the sideline, and they pitched the ball to Herschel Walker, and he's coming around that left side. And when I saw the separation, which you never see on TV that well.
Right.
When I saw the separation of how he just pulled away and nonchalantly got 15 yards, ran it out of bounds, I went, I get it. It's different when you're down there, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
So what happened from high school to college? How much did the game increase, speed-wise and everything else for that?
Quite a bit, not only speed-wise, but, you know, guys were a lot bigger, you know, a lot stronger. You know, they were all, you know, pretty good at the high school level. I was fortunate my freshman year to start at Nichols.
Right.
But it wasn't until like the third game that I broke into the starting lineup. Well, it would have been the third game I would have broken into the starting lineup. But Thursday, I think we were flying out. It was an away game. We were flying out the next day, Friday. That Thursday ended up getting in a little accident on my motorcycle and messing my ankle up. My offensive line coach was none too happy that I even had a motorcycle.
Right.
You know, much less that I got hurt on it. Bob Groh, he was my offensive line coach at that time. You know, my freshman year at Nichols.
Right.
Didn't let me go on the trip. You know, had to stay home. And I think the practices, the The practices were tougher because of, the increased level of competition. Again, we had a linebacker by the name of Rusty Rebo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And me and Rusty used to go at it during practice. And Rusty had such a sense for the football. When the ball was snapped, he was already gone, and he was hard to catch.
Yeah, he was tenacious.
And he wouldn't take you on. He wouldn't take a blocker on if he didn't have to.
Right. Run past it.
Exactly. The only time that he would really take you on is if it was coming right up the middle and he had to.
Of course, that's Coach Rebo Nichols' brother.
That's right.
But you got to see some good athletes on other teams.
Yeah.
Who stands out to you?
I remember we played Jacksonville State, and I'm trying to think of this guy's name. He went on to play for Houston. He was a big defensive end. Jacksonville State had just won the national title the year before, and we went up there to play them. We had a slot back by the name of Dwight Walker.
Absolutely.
And the first play of the game, we threw a double pass. Dwight caught the ball and actually threw it down the field for a touchdown. And it kind of set the tone of the game. Our game plan was to run right at them, right? To run right at 6'6", 265 pounds, and just not an ounce of fat on him. And our game plan was to run right at him.
Right.
In which he was lined up right
now,
over
who
me.
was, because I remember Dwight Walker playing for Sonny Jackson.
Yeah.
But who was coaching when you first went?
Bill Clemens.
Bill Clemens.
I coached. I played under Bill the whole time.
Right, the whole time.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Another
so Dwight was actually
coach,
there first with Bill.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Dwight would have been probably a freshman or a sophomore.
He had some talent.
Maybe that year.
There's no doubt. Did you ever have any inkling? Because not only were you big, you were agile, which everybody wants, that kind of person. You ever had any inkling of going pro?
I had a couple of tryouts, some pro scouts that had come to Nichols and had things like that. I was short, okay? I was only 6'2". Back then short, especially. Yeah, back then especially though, you had certain slots,
right?
That you had to fulfill, and you had to fit in right there. I had some offers to go play Canadian ball,
right?
Which again, I really didn't have much interest in doing. So I decided to get my degree and to get into coaching.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
The person who's been catastrophically injured is the one who needs experienced help.
My grandfather was 100% about compassion for the client, and so am I.
And one of the secrets is to always know your case better than your opposing counsel knows his or her case.
Helping people, fighting for people. Money can't buy that.
Waits and Downer. When you walk in our door, you're part of our family.
At Big Wheels Travel Center, the fun and excitement are just around the corner in Bayou Blue. Big Wheels is open 24 hours a day and features 24-hour security, clean restrooms, and a wide selection of beer, soft drinks, and chips for all your needs. While you're there, visit the casino for daily cash prizes and drink specials 7 days a week. You'll get the feeling as if you're in a lush Vegas-style casino. Big Wheels also has one of the largest subways in the area. So stop by Big Wheels Travel Center, where everyone's a winner.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. In fact, Some of the first people to settle along the bayou, the Acadians, were folks that had been expelled from their home country and left to fend for themselves. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before, and it's likely we'll hear it again. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. And when we do, we're gonna have a good time, just like we always do.
When you decided to coach and it clicked that, hey, you know, I might want to give this a shot, was that a long process, or was that something that you knew right away you'd love to do?
I think I was influenced by some of the coaches that I had. I can remember after my senior year, after I'd finished playing my senior year in college, going around with one of our defensive backs coach, a guy by the name of Joey McGooey.
Oh yeah.
And they were putting on a football clinic. Nichols was. And so we were coming around Terrebonne Parish, and we were going to all the little schools, and we were going in, and you know, Joey would introduce me as a football player and all this kind of stuff, and we would try to, you know, get the kids all riled up and everything, get them excited about coming to the clinic. And I can remember during that day, Joey telling me, Richard, don't go into coaching. I remember him telling me that.
Really?
Yeah. And he got out, him and my offensive line coach at my last couple of years at Nichols was a guy by the name of Randy Raymond. And they both got out, went into the oil field. I think they ended up acquiring one of the companies after a couple of years, and then ended up selling it a couple of years after that, and walked away multi-millionaires, you know.
Right. And which a lot of coaches have done.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a couple of them won the lottery.
Right.
You know, if we go back to Kelly Pugh and Phil Greco winning the lottery.
Yeah.
But you didn't get into it for the money.
No.
Obviously.
I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed the kids, you know, and getting to work with the kids, especially on that level. My wife, Lisa, you know, she was from here. She was one of 7 and kids in her family.
Yeah.
So she wasn't going anywhere. I can remember when we were first married, you know, telling her that I said, you know, we need, if I'm gonna coach high school football, I said we need to move to Texas, because I knew what high school football in Texas was like.
Right.
Her reply was, go right ahead. You know?
Growing up, I'm a little younger than you, so you always were, in our mind, as a tough guy, tough athlete, pretty agile, track guy, football guy. You get into coaching, and that mentality at South Terrebonne, I mean, it's historical still today. I mean, whenever we played South Terrebonne, we knew you better buckle up the chin straps. It's no secret. You had guys down the bayou that were just tough. They worked. Some of them worked on the boats. They worked in construction. They were blue-collar people to the core. They were just tough. Y'all had a lot to pick from. But I'm sure, as a coach, you always want to find that guy who was going to lead the troops.
Right.
Was that hard to find?
No, not down there it wasn't, you know, that's for sure. Yeah, that was one of the things that I had to adjust to whenever I first started coaching there. The first spring practice that we had, and I had 5, 6, 7 guys out because it was the trawling season, you know, and I was, you know, upset about it. Talked to a few of their parents and everything. And then I came to understand that, you know, their dads had small boats, and that was their only deck end that they had was their kids, and that was a living for them.
Right.
You know, so you learn to respect that, And you know, I had no problem, you know, with it after that. But like you said, they grew up knowing what hard work was.
Probably had to be fluid as a coach, because how do you practice and then you're going over key plays, but then Joe's on the trawl boat with his dad and he might miss some key stuff. How do you integrate all that?
You just find a way to work around it. That's all. You know, the practices and the things like that. You know, at least you had control over those. You know, so you could decide what was put in and what days and things like. You always had something like that going on. Either the baseball team was in the playoffs, and you know, there's your starting quarterback that you know, he's still playing baseball. So you took that opportunity to work with the younger kids, especially during spring. Right. You know, you took that opportunity to work with the younger kids and find out which one of them, you know, could contribute that year coming right there.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm. This one-on-one program has been brought to you by the law offices of Waits and Downer.
For years, Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford & Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
I have such respect and pride for our company, and I'm excited to bring new and innovative ideas to our clients.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
Have you, as a Catholic, ever been asked a question that began something like, where in the Bible is, and then they ask you about Mary or the Pope or purgatory or confession or baptizing babies or whatever? Well, what do you do if you don't know where it is in the Bible? What do you do? Are you helpless? Should you just hang your head and walk away? What do you do? I believe many Catholics today are afraid to discuss their faith with non-Catholic Christians because quite often they don't know how to deal with the question, where is that in the Bible? Well, fear no more. The Bible Christian Society, with its free written and audio resources and video resources, helps Catholics learn how to answer any and all questions about their faith. And we don't just teach you how to answer the questions, we teach you techniques for how to engage in a discussion about the faith with pretty much anyone. So check out all of our free resources at BibleChristianSociety.com, BibleChristianSociety.com.
Our town is your town. Our state is your state. On the winding bayou, we always see you. Our men and women who protect our safety. Our town is safe because of you. You don't always hear it, so let me say it. Loudly and boldly, let me display it. You're not forsaken. We truly thank you. Our town is safe because of you. As the badge goes on, the trucks get ready and then roll on. The highway is safe, the men in blue. Our town is safe because of you. And when the times get tough, our tough get going. While we sleep, Charlie Company is running. And once again, we say it sincerely. Thank you. Our town is safe because of you. At Beacon NDT Services, we thank you.
HTV would like to inform all of you that Friday night sports game highlights will no longer air on Friday nights. HTV will choose 3 games per week, and those highlights will be featured on our Sports in the Bayou program that will air Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Join Bobby Hebert, Mike Detillier, Rich Marty, Stan Gravois, Harry McCullough, Dr. Pat Hagan, and Martin Falls as they bring you all of the Saints, LSU, Nicholls State, and high school highlights on a weekly basis.
And welcome back. Martin Falls here, and I'm joined now by the Commissioner of Insurance for the state of Louisiana, Mr. Jim Donlin. You saw him on HTV last week. And Mr. Donlin, so good to have you back. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Martin, and glad to be with you again.
Good. I've had so many, and I know you're right in the thick of it, and that's part of what an insurance commissioner does, but in my travels along the Bayou roads on location, I'm hearing just so many people very discouraged by the fact that their insurance either hasn't paid or the adjuster hasn't come out to see them. Now, there's a lot of companies that have gotten checks to people, so I don't want to throw everybody in the same group, but I do feel like it's still a majority of people that have not been taken care of. And just to start the conversation, what are you hearing as the insurance commissioner on this front?
No question about it. And evidence of the fact that it is quite the challenge. We have registered and or licensed 7,000 additional insurance adjusters to come to Louisiana to do business since Hurricane Ida. The companies that have in-house adjusters, the big national companies, they can send them quickly down to our state in the aftermath of Laura last year and now this year, Hurricane Ida. But they have to register with us the name and the information, where that individual is licensed elsewhere, if they have a residential license in another state. About half the states license insurance adjusters like we do, another half do not. So the bottom line is we have an army of about 7,000 additional licensed or registered insurance adjusters as a result of Ida working in our state. Now, many of them are housed, if you will, 100 miles away in Alexandria or in Mobile or Houston, commuting to and from our state because of the lack of hotel rooms available. And of course, that slows the process down as well as a result of the travel time involved. So the most often heard complaint is just that our adjuster, although the company has assigned an adjuster to us for our claim, has not been out, or they came out, they haven't submitted their recommendation, their report to us to review to see if we agree with it or not. That is the most common complaint that we're hearing now. Later on, it will be about the failure to pay in a timely fashion. But we're not quite there yet.
Let me ask you, I saw a 31-year veteran. He's retired now from the insurance company, but he was a high-ranking member of one of the larger insurance companies. And I saw him on Facebook yesterday actually complaining about the company he used to work for, saying that for an insurance company not to send a qualified adjuster to someone's home is breaking the law. What kind of parameters do you think he was getting at?
Not quite sure. There is no law that defines what the qualifications are. In our state, they have to be licensed or registered if they're being sent in from out of state. But what he was referring to as not qualified, I have no way of determining without talking to the individual himself, which I'd be happy to do if you can refer him to me here at the department. We can be reached at 800-259-5300 for that purpose or any other purpose.
Let me ask you this question. I'll get a couple of people sent me responses because I wanted to have a conversation with you. And if we can't finish in this segment, we'll bring it to the next one. It says, "Hey, Martin, I need to move out of my house per the water mitigation company I hired. I have loss of use on my policy. I cannot get my insurance carrier to respond back to me explaining the process. The water mitigation company is waiting for me to move out so they can begin demolition." And they put, "Can Mr. Donlin please advise how I should move forward?"
Well, I would tell that individual to go ahead and move out. and document the fact that it had to be done in order for him to comply with the requirement contained in his policy that he minimize the damage to his property. That's in the interest of the company, of the insurance company, because the more damage you have caused by Hurricane Ida, the greater the payment they're going to owe to you for the repair of that. If they let it fester and mold grow up the wall, that just adds to the expense that that the policyholder has. And if that doesn't satisfy his need, maybe he needs he can't afford to move out without some advance of money toward his claim. Have him contact us and file a complaint against his company for not having acted promptly enough to adjust his claim, at least partially, in order to enable him to move out of the home to begin the mitigation process with that mitigation company that's waiting for him to get out of the way so that they can do what they need to do.
All right, Mr. Donlin, what we'll do, we'll take our first break. I have a few more questions for you, and I appreciate your time as always. And we'll take our first break. We'll be right back with the Commissioner of Insurance here in Louisiana, Mr. Jim Donlin.
Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford and Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's not just about insurance. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
We analyze and then custom design your insurance policies to fit your business's needs, not the insurance carriers.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros is a highly versatile company that will ship any size, any weight, anywhere. U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros is a full-service logistics provider focused on expert packing, crating, and transportation solutions. The local oil and gas industry utilizes our professional crating and shipping services that support their offshore and international needs. U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros is authorized and recognized to construct shipping crates built for exports. U-Drop Shipping and Crating Pros, now at our new location at Capitol Boulevard.
I think it's a great day to teach outside now. The sunny sky's calling my name. Just can't stay in the classroom all day. I gotta get out and teach students today. Everybody's smiling. Gonna teach today. Everybody's learning. Gonna teach today. Everybody sings. We learn today. It's a teaching kind of day.
E-Tel Business, your business, our priority. Business is fast, so you need to stay ahead. With fiber internet, phone, and Wi-Fi that's even faster. For a limited time, when you purchase 2 business services, you get 3 months free. That means your business is backed by E-Tel's Fiber to Business network, powered by local experts. Save now on the speed you need to run your business and get 3 months free with 2 or more services. Visit etelbusiness.com. E-Tel Business, your business, our priority.
West Park Climate Controlled Self-Storage is a state-of-the-art storage facility with clean, convenient, and secured climate-controlled storage. Open 7 days a week with professional storage counselors to assist with all of your storage needs.
I'm Tammy. Come see us at West Park Storage for all your packing and storage needs.
Hi, I'm Kelly. We also have parking for RVs, boats, and cars with 24-hour access.
Hi, I'm Tricia, the manager of West Park Storage, and we would like to thank you for 16 years of great service, and we hope to provide many, many more.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before, and just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
All right, welcome back, and we rejoin the Commissioner of Insurance for the state of Louisiana, Mr. Jim Donlin. There you see him, and he's been answering questions, and he's a, very pleasant man, I got to say, and also I spent time with him last week as he was in Houma, and we appreciate his time. I want to ask you, Mr. Donlin, if I could. There's new quotes coming out, and one lady asked me to ask you this. Martin, can you ask him why the new quotes for flood insurance have quadrupled in price?
Well, actually, flood insurance is not an insurance product. It's a FEMA product called the National Flood Insurance Program. And the risk is borne by the federal government. So they make the rules. They put in place the criteria by which their premiums will be set. In the past, it has been based primarily on elevation, on certified levees that provide protection to the greater New Orleans area, the 4-parish area living within the levee system of Plaquemine, St. Bernard, Orleans, and Jefferson. $15 billion was spent in the aftermath of the failure of those levees in 2005 with Katrina. And when finished with that upgrade and certified as meeting the requirements of the National Flood Insurance Program, many, if not most, of the policyholders living in that 4-parish area saw a decrease in their premiums. But the National FEMA announced actually 2 years ago that they were going to change the method by which they price their policies and the coverage they offer. They were going to, they call the new system Risk Rating 2.0, and it's a new basis for setting premiums based on issues not previously included in their criteria. And the prediction is that for most folks, it will be either no change or a minimum change, $20 or less per month in an increase. But for a significant number, I think the estimate is that it'll be in the range of 3% of the policyholders. In our state, that's 500,000 policies in place. So 3% would be 15,000 policies. Those 15,000 policyholders will see a dramatic and significant rate increase under the proposed Risk Rating 2.0. However, at this point, we're approaching the end of this month, and the latest temporary extension of the program included a move toward Risk Rating 2.0, but the proposed go forward on a temporary basis of an additional year, not a 5-year long-term extension, that would come with a suspension, a temporary suspension of the implementation of Risk Rating 2.0. At least that's the plan that is being talked about most as the extension plan that will be passed on a bipartisan basis here before the end of this month. I hope that turns out to be the case. It also contains, the long-term proposal contains a cap on future rate increases, which for the past 6 years have been capped at 18% per year. The proposed long-term extension comes with a cap for the next 5 years when implemented, when passed, of somewhere in the 8, 9, 10, 11% per year level. So again, I don't regulate the National Flood Insurance Program. It's called insurance. It really isn't. It's a FEMA program administered by insurance agents, insurance adjusters, insurance companies that do the back office work, but take on none of the risk for the losses incurred by that program.
All right, we have about 2 minutes left on this segment. We'll definitely come back, but let me see if I could get this one in. I've heard so much from some agents, and they talking about takeout companies, and I don't know what that has to do with the debacle we're in, or if it's a plus or a minus or whatever. Explain the takeout companies, and how does that all calculate itself into what's happening now in Louisiana?
Really doesn't impact anything at all. Takeout company is generally the phrase used to refer to the small regional companies that have come to our state, a record number, 30 since Katrina, doing business in coastal states primarily Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, South Carolina, et cetera. And they take policies out from the market of last resort, which is priced higher than any of the private sector in the area that the property is located in. It is a state-sponsored market of last resort, the risk of which is borne by all of us policyholders statewide, and that residual market has to, by law, provide coverage for those who can't get coverage in the private sector. These small companies take policies out of citizens once a year in an effort to get more business on their books.
Okay, let's do this. We're going to take another short break, and I'm going to come back and we could discuss how insurance companies sort of shop out some of their policies. And I guess some of the agents around here, very, nice people, very competent people, are just pulling their hair out because they themselves cannot get some of these companies to respond back. And I want to get your take as the insurance commissioner on what can be done about that. So we'll take another short break. We'll be right back with Mr. Jim Donlin. Don't go away.
If I lose my job, how will I support my family? When will all this unrest end? I wish I could control my anger.
Do any of these thoughts sound familiar to you? If so, you are not alone. The South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority offers support, counseling, and treatment geared at helping you where you are right now in the midst of this pandemic and your own personal crisis. The South Central Louisiana Human Services Authority, helping people, changing lives.
At Big Wheels Travel Center, the fun and excitement are just around the corner in Bayou Blue. Big Wheels is open 24 hours a day and features 24-hour security, clean restrooms, and a wide selection of beer, soft drinks, and chips for all your needs. While you're there, visit the casino for daily cash prizes and drink specials 7 days a week. You'll get the feeling as if you're in a lush Vegas-style casino. Big Wheels also has one of the largest subways in the area. So stop by Big Wheels Travel Center, where everyone's a winner.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
We have individual dreams, and we also have shared dreams for our cities and communities. Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Hi, I'm Hunter Haydell with Terrebonne Ford. Let's talk Pro Power on board. We set up this tailgate to show the power and versatility of this new feature. It's a generator that's built into the truck and has 7 outlets and up to 7,200 watts of power. You have 5 outlets in the rear of the truck as well as 2 in the cab. Hey BJ, what we got running off the Pro Power on board right now?
Well, Hunter, today we've got our speaker and microphone, we've got our George Foreman grill, we've got our large fry patty, we've got our smoker, we've got a couple fans to keep us cool, we've got our TV with the game on, and a blender for some smoothies.
You can monitor the watts being pulled from your Pro Power onboard through your screen or the Ford Pass app. Stop by Terrebonne Ford to order your F-150 Power Boost today. Terrebonne Ford in Homer.
All right, welcome back. Joining us again is the Insurance Commissioner for the state of Louisiana, Mr. Jim Donlin, and we certainly appreciate his time. And let me ask you, Mr. Jim, if I could, because some of the agents we've known for years, I mean, on a personal level and on my family level, on listening to everybody in town. Matter of fact, agents have been calling me every day. They're pulling their hair out because they've promised the consumer a service, and they told them they would take care of them, and they intend to do it, but they're running into trouble from some of the people that they shopped out the policies to. I guess we've seen this before, but have we ever seen it in the magnitude that we've seen it? Was Katrina maybe one that would compare?
Well, actually not. Katrina, at the time it hit our state, our residual market of Citizens was actually our third largest insurer. It had 10% of all the property insurance in the state of Louisiana, behind only State Farm and Allstate. We began takeout when Governor Blanco made $100 million available in incentive money to get companies to come take policies out of Citizens. We wanted and did depopulate that book of business to reduce the risk on everyone else that is behind those policies, and to offer cheaper alternatives for perhaps better coverage than Citizens offers to those who were having a difficult time getting insurance in the private sector. We were very, very successful in doing so. When Katrina hit, there were 173,000 policies in Citizens' book of business. Today, there's 35,000. What was 10% of our market is now 1/2 of 1%. I was asked in an interview earlier today if there would be another assessment necessary in the aftermath of these Laura last year, Delta and Zeta, and now Ida this year. And the answer is absolutely not. Citizens is an efficient, professionally run operation now that can afford, with its reinsurance, to pay all of its obligations and not have to assess anyone. We still have 5 more years of assessments on policyholders, all policyholders, in order to finish paying off the $1 billion bond issue that Citizens had to issue in the aftermath of Katrina and Rita because of their losses, which they couldn't afford to pay at that time. So those, quote, takeout companies are small regional companies reinsured up to their chin by the international reinsurance marketplace, enabling them to do business in highly risky areas like coastal Louisiana, where they have displaced that market of last resort that was actually dysfunctional when Katrina hit 16 years ago.
Here's what scares me, because like I said, I'm on the street and I'm talking to people that live paycheck to paycheck. It's reality. And they haven't heard from an adjuster, or they've been contacted early and haven't heard for weeks. They're desperate. They're depressed. They don't know what to do. As a commissioner, is there anything or any time limit that you mandate, or you could tell adjusters, look, you have to provide them in a certain amount of time so they can live? They can't go get bank loans even on these situations. Is there a mandate you could do, or what advice would you have for people like this?
There is no mandate for an additional 30 days. But in the meantime, what they can do, and my advice to them, is to file a complaint against their company and get that process started. When a complaint is filed, we write to their company, and they don't like to hear from us. We're like the Better Business Bureau for every other business. When an insurance company that we regulate hears from their regulator that holds the ability to take their license away, they get uncomfortable. So file a complaint with us. Do not hesitate to do it. It can affect your premium. It can affect your claim. And we will get them to give an explanation as to why they are not acting in a more responsible way, a more prompt way to their policyholder. In addition to that, whatever money they get on the initial payment, generally called the depreciation payment of 10% or 20% of their total claim, take it, spend it toward the rebuild of their property, and if necessary, file a supplemental claim for any previously unknown damage that they discovered while repairing, or for the increased cost of supplies and labor driven by the pandemic last year that had a real spike upward in the cost of lumber, for example, or in the cost of labor. So call us, file a complaint, 800-259-5300, or go to our website, www.ldi, Louisiana Department of Insurance, ldi.la.gov, 800-259-5300.
Mr. Donlin, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your effort. And I may call you again next week because I'm out on the streets and I'm getting so many people asking me questions, and I probably could do a lot more, but I know you're very valuable to a lot of people. So I appreciate the transparency, and I may come back to you because I may have a whole list of questions. But I like the fact, could you give the number one more time that if somebody's watching and they want to file that complaint?
800-259-5300. Let's do it.
All right. Mr. Donlin, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate it today.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it, Mr. Jim Donlin, the Commissioner of Insurance here in Louisiana. We appreciate his time. And folks, you've seen me out there in the reports, and you've also been answering me on Facebook. Don't be scared to send in your questions, because you can tell he's intellectual about this. He knows his stuff. And just ask the question. He'll give you a straight answer, and we appreciate his time. And if there's something we failed to ask that you want to know, hey, go on my Facebook, HTV Facebook page, and let us know what that question is, and we'll get back to him on it. So thank you for joining us, and we'll be back with more segments right after this.
We know many of you have been affected by Hurricane Ida. We are open and ready to help at A.J. Doman Chevrolet. No matter if it's sales, service, parts, or body shop, we are here to assist you. We have over 200 new, used, and certified cars available on our lot. No credit, bad credit, foreclosure, we can help. We say yes when others say no. Come see us at the foot of the Morgan City Bridge, call us, or check us out on the web. A.J. Doman Chevrolet, the dealership that works for you.
Led by a 7-member commission, the Terrebonne Port was created to assist our local industry in promoting economic development. We monitor government regulations that affect our local industry and work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to secure maintenance dredging funds. Because the HNC is the main artery for the heartbeat of Terrebonne's economy, Terrebonne Port fights a constant battle for funding to maintain the federally authorized navigable depth. We are now leasing waterfront and non-waterfront property. Terrebonne Port Commission, serving our industry to keep Terrebonne thriving.
The person who's been catastrophically injured is the one who needs experienced help.
My grandfather was 100% about compassion for the client, and so am I.
And one of the secrets is to always know your case better than your opposing counsel knows his or her case.
Helping people, fighting for people. Money can't buy that.
Waits and Downer. When you walk in our door, you're part of our family.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. Hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
This is Martin False live in Houma. We're in front of Hebert's Motel, where water is up to the doorknobs at the motel. Telephone poles almost completely to the ground. This storm had some fury to it. The following morning, Hurricane Andrew had taken its toll on Terrebonne Parish.
But the stick doesn't lie.
No.
That, you know, they said it started moving north-northwest. That was a jog.
It's a very tense day for Terrebonne Parish. Levee after levee has been breached. You won't know until it equalizes how many of them have actually broken.
And I'm just looking at that stick shot again. That center circulation has moved back on the stick, and Lafourche and Grand Isle, to me, are ground zero at this point. We'll see you again tomorrow night right here, same place, same time on Bayou Time.
All right, folks, today we're fishing out of Leeville, Louisiana. We're going with Captain Troy Robichaux, 4-horseman tackle, and going after speckled trout. They've actually turned on lately. The weather's calmed down. This time of year, we had a lot of wind coming through, and it was a really windy year, and we had trouble actually getting out to catch fish, but it's calmed down now, so hopefully we'll catch some good ones. So y'all stay tuned.
Keep On Casting is brought to you by Thibodaux Regional Medical Center. Bronco Industries, leading the field in industrial construction and fabrication. Real Outfitters, proud to be the first family-owned tackle store in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Take them rods out your way.
No, I'm good, bro. Oh, I see shrimp jumping out there. Dude, that's the best shrimp I've seen all year.
Yeah, well, over there by Bada Bing, they've been a little bit bigger, so we've been kind of getting them over there for the last 3 or 4 days. It all depends on who's catching the shrimp and where they trawling at, you know. But Gales, they dependable over there. They always have them.
Slammed it.
See, there's this trash fish or what?
Dude, I got on here a gap top. Looking a lot like a catfish.
Catfish? I got some. Yeah, I might have probably got a double catfish. Right? A lot of times what it does is it'll get past some of the trash fish, like right at the top, and it keeps your shrimp from. When you got trout underneath it, that shrimp wants to move and jump out the way and stuff and all like that. You know, get away from that fish and slows them down a little bit. But one of the main reasons is for the trash fish. You know. Same reason why sometimes we catch a lot of fish. We free line a lot of them with the pinch weight is to get below the trash fish. Just drifting behind the boat. Wasn't even paying attention.
Get him, Troy.
Yeah. Feels like pretty decent. He was off that jug pile. Oh, so it's not even a trout, it's a Spanish mackerel. It's not a ladyfish, even worse.
Ooh. Almost as bad as a chicken dog.
Yeah, poor man's tarpon. That's trout busting on the shrimp right there. Look at the trout right there on those big shrimp. I don't know how we got catfish to bite us. That's a trout. There we go. Oh my God, through all the catfish. I'm getting the bucket out.
That's a keeper, I know.
Yeah, that's a keeper. Take this.
First trout. Load the boat.
I'll grab him. It's about a 13, 14-inch trout. Smoked beetle.
That's a speck.
Yeah, we get some spray out. Next big hole against the level. Alan might make it. Yes. Close.
Dude, he nailed it. The male.
Yeah, right there. I'm gonna be over the top of you a little bit.
That's all right.
You get a fish on, just reel it in. I'm gonna leave mine sit out there.
Catfish.
That's another catfish. We gotta move again because the fish moved again on us. But that's where the shrimp was coming up a while ago. Yeah, another catfish. The fish is just moving.
Micros.
This is a speck or some weird fish.
I think it's a speck. I mean, it was in all that bait. It was in all the shrimp and all.
Sweet. Special trout.
Ain't much. Finally got something to stay around for a little while. Oh, that's all right. I got it.
A good speck. Little one.
Yeah, thought he was bigger than that the way he hit that cord.
So it's weird, you can see the bait moving along here, and every now and then the bait will come up. Trout are busting underneath it. Troy just hooked up.
But I just talked to somebody. They're catching them in the lake. Some pretty good ones. So we're gonna catfish. If they don't keep on biting out here, we're gonna run around.
You know Grafton Dermatology as one of Louisiana's premier skincare and skin cancer treatment centers. Grafton Dermatology will bring your beautiful body to its healthy fullest. Grafton Dermatology provides advanced treatment for all skin conditions, repairing, healing, enhancing. Grafton Dermatology, defining healthier skin and beautiful bodies for over 15 years.
Whether your game is on the field or in the backyard, Thibodaux Regional Sports Medicine Center will help keep you safe. Winning is your priority. Your safety is ours. With advanced concussion testing technology, certified athletic trainers, and sports medicine trained physicians and therapists, we bring our A game. Because you can win it only if you're in it. Play it safe with Thibodaux Regional Sports Medicine Center, official sports medicine provider of Nichols Athletics.
It must be shallow right there because they're barely pulling it under. Oh, I got a good one. Got a speck.
Yep.
I got him. Yellowmouth. You think that yellowmouth's from eating shrimp like they say?
That's what they say. I mean, no, I don't know if it's true or not. You hear enough stories about everything when it comes to fishing.
So I got a long leader out there on a cork, and they're hitting it. They're barely pulling the cork under. It all looks like catfish.
You'll find out. I lost mine in the mangrove, so I'm just gonna put one that's pre-rigged, but it's actually rigged to fish redfish with a little bit of short leader. See if they can hit it or not.
It's 11 and a half. Shoot. That's a good one. Oh yeah.
Good one?
That's something good.
Catfish?
Foul
All right.
catfish.
This is last cast. We're going to find something else. With being calmer today than it has been, I thought the bite was going to be early this morning. I mean, I thought we'd catch them all day long.
Big old speck out here. We're fishing some underwater structure off out of Fouchon. Nice. Oh, shark just got him. Shark just ate my fish.
That sucks.
Dude, that's a
Dude.
unit of a trout, dude.
That's a good one. God dog it.
Is it still 12 inches? 12 inches.
He would have been.
That's about a 3-pound trout, probably.
It was.
Oh, man.
Get him.
The trout, can you get him in?
Drag up.
Come on, come on. Fast.
Hammer. Hammer. Look at the shark coming. Look at the shark. Oh, look, the shark is right there.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I
Great.
think he might have got swiped.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, that's crazy. This is more like a competition than anything. You gotta see who the real winner is over here.
Get him, boy, get him. Get him. Good job, bud. All right, Dominic. That's awesome.
You want my rod?
No.
I don't think it has nothing to do with the rod.
Oh. Come on, come on, come on. In the boat, in the boat. Woo!
We need a net sponsor if anybody's interested.
Dude,
I think you got the technique down pat.
I got it, bro. Bumping that on the bottom, almost just leaving it sitting on the bottom.
Taking me to the barge. Now I remember why I like the iPilot. I don't have to fish and fight these suckers no more. Look at that red sucker.
That's a dark fish.
Yeah, he's not white like that one we caught on the beach earlier.
Pretty spots. It's a big trout. Oh, come on, come on, get in the boat. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Whoo, big shark was following it.
Yeah.
So besides the sharks, this is awesome. Dude, he swallowed it. Come on, babe. Oh, sharks.
It's all right. I really haven't been getting no bites, but a good guide always lets his customers catch the fish. Beside the rock pile with the tide starting to lose now. Are y'all still on that side? I'm actually getting a bite now. Oh, shit. Oh, something just got me. Let go of my trout. Oh, it's a redfish. Unless the redfish ate my trout. Guess he didn't. Guess I had a redfish the whole time.
I don't know, dude. That didn't look like a redfish.
Oh, it's a redfish.
No, it's fine.
Oh, no, redfish definitely eat trout. I'm big enough, but I mean, I don't think...
That's a pretty redfish.
These timber redfish.
You know Grafton Dermatology as one of Louisiana's premier skincare and skin cancer treatment centers. Grafton Dermatology will bring your beautiful body to its healthy fullest. Grafton Dermatology provides advanced treatment for all skin conditions, repairing, healing, enhancing. Grafton Dermatology, defining healthier skin and beautiful bodies for over 15 years.
Whether your game is on the field or in the backyard, Thibodaux Regional Sports Medicine Center will help keep you safe. Winning is your priority. Your safety is ours. With advanced concussion testing technology, certified athletic trainers, and sports medicine trained physicians and therapists, we bring our A game. Because you can win it only if you're in it. Play it safe with Thibodaux Regional Sports Medicine Center, official sports medicine provider of Nichols Athletics.
Okay guys, we caught some fresh tuna today, fresh yellowfin, right off the boat. What I'm gonna show you today is how to make some fresh sashimi off of it. The first thing we do when we get the cut is we're gonna make sure that we're gonna clean it first, but you never wanna put yellowfin in water. It kind of macerates the edges. So what we're gonna do is just get a fresh paper towel, a real clean one. I prefer the ones that are just white. We're gonna dab it and dry it real good. Take it off, and then we're gonna look and just kind of see all the bloodline and all the edges that might not taste so good. Make sure your hands are clean, your knife is very clean to not get any germs on here that could get anybody sick. And then we're just gonna take the bloodline you see right here, trim these edges off. And you see, like sometimes when we gaff fish and whatnot, they'll get a little bloodline on here. We just kind of trim that off. And we'll use this cut for something else. But you can see how pretty the meat is. All right. So I'm gonna just trim all these edges. And you can see here, this section right here, we want to kind of get that off because it's just the little tendons in the meat that we're gonna make sure are off because that gets a little chewy. And all these little pieces we can do we can use it to make spicy tuna or whatever with the chili sauce so we don't waste it, cook it. All right, and that's where we're gonna start. Okay guys, we got a fresh piece of swordfish off the boat today also. Same situation as the tuna. It's great for sashimi fresh. We're gonna cut our bloodline, make sure our knife's clean, good clean paper towel, trim it up, make sure the bloodline and all is cleaned off. I also like to trim all the edges off just to make sure if anything hit a nasty board or something that we clean the fish on, that it's all cleaned up and ready to go and doesn't get anybody sick. So again, we're just gonna take all the bloodline, kind of trim some of the grainy part of the meat off and also the bloodline. All right, as I'm cutting this tuna up, we're gonna just make sure we just cut some little thin slices with it, guys. See, it's real pretty after you get everything carved up and the edges cut. We're just gonna cut little pieces and make everybody a little plate. I like to serve it with, you could either mix some wasabi and soy or like some ponzu. I like, you know, Rouse's Supermarket has ponzu with see, I got some right there. Ponzu with the citrus season. I really like this one. You can mix it with a little chili sauce too. Just dribble it over the tuna or the swordfish that we're about to make. It really makes it taste good. Put a little avocado, some cucumber on it, whatever you want to do. But I don't think there's anybody that doesn't enjoy eating fresh tuna sashimi. And people ask, you know, about parasites in the fish. You know, sometimes we see fish in fresh water with parasites and little worms and stuff in them. We really don't get much of that in the salt water. The salinity is real high. It's very rare you see a parasite in tuna or swordfish or anything. So we have never had any problems with that. So if anybody's questioning about eating this raw, again, just making sure it's clean is the big thing. You can see it's really coming out nice, and I'm about to start cutting up the swordfish. This fish was all caught for the Swole Fest rodeo this weekend. Great rodeo out of Grand Isle. They have it at Sand Dollar Marina the first week of every year. Encourage everybody to participate. It benefits the American Diabetes Association and Muscular Dystrophy Association. We always participate. Okay guys, I cut some of the yellowfin up and some finer chunks here. Like this is more of the grain area so we don't waste it that I showed you earlier. We're just gonna put a little chili sauce in there, sriracha. And then I just take a little mayonnaise. If you got a little roe or some sesame seeds, you can put it in there also. And mix it up and you can serve it on crackers or whatever. And all this stuff is best served chilled. Like after I make it, I just like to put it in the refrigerator or the freezer just for a little bit to get it real cold before I serve it. That's all you have to do with that. It's really good. As far as this, you know, some people like to eat the sashimi with soy sauce and mix it with a little wasabi. I just like to put a little ponzu. I'm not gonna do it. I don't know what anybody likes in here, but we're gonna just tell y'all. I'd like to get a little tray like this, put a little bit of sriracha in, mix it with ponzu, and just kind of put it over the top of it, versus just mix the wasabi and the soy sauce and dip it. But you can see it's all real pretty. It's a pretty presentation. If you get any fresh, I strongly recommend you try doing this. It's a habit you're not gonna be able to stop. And if you like sashimi, you're really gonna enjoy this. Swole Fest 2021, swordfish, yellowfin tuna. Who's gonna be the taster?
Let's get it, brother. All right,
Mr.
Corey.
Snap-a-throat man.
This is it. Corey Talbot with Real Addiction Charters.
Oh, man.
Come on now, fresh.
Get you a little taste.
Which one is this?
That's the ponzu with the chili sauce. Give it a little taste.
Which one's this one?
Wasabi and soy.
Oh, I like wasabi. I'm gonna hit the wasabi.
Hit that up. See what you think.
Oh my God.
Good, huh, dude?
That's good.
Anybody who catches yellowfin and swordfish fresh, make some sashimi. Man, don't eat it all. Save some for the other people.
You can find this recipe and more at keeponcastingtv.com.
You know Grafton Dermatology as one of Louisiana's premier skincare and skin cancer treatment centers. Grafton Dermatology will bring your beautiful body to its healthy fullest. Grafton Dermatology provides advanced treatment for all skin conditions, repairing, healing, enhancing. Grafton Dermatology, defining healthier skin and beautiful bodies for over 15 years.
Whether your game is on the field or in the backyard, Thibodeau Regional Sports Medicine Center will help keep you safe. Winning is your priority. Your safety is ours. With advanced concussion testing technology, certified athletic trainers, and sports medicine trained physicians and therapists, we bring our A game. Because you can win it only if you're in it. Play it safe with Thibodeau Regional Sports Medicine Center, official sports medicine provider of Nichols Athletics.
Okay. Finally on the board. I was just letting y'all get a head start. Trying to be a good guide and stuff. Yeah, believe that, huh? I know which ones you're talking about. Oh. You can see them underwater?
What's up, Troy?
We can take that. We can take that bucket out here in a second. Still, we don't have to lift the lid every time.
And our supermarket.
What they want? Some shirts?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we moved a little bit. Got over here. At the other spot, they wanted the bait sitting on the bottom or right on the bottom here. Here they're actually.
Yeah.
Here they're actually wanting the bait moving. So.
Yeah, they want to move fast. They're chasing these shrimp right now.
Hooked up. Dude, they are on fire out there.
Dude, like piranhas. You ain't even got to bounce it no more. All you got to do is throw and reel now.
Hooked up. Some babies though.
Crazy that I ain't no way anybody thought last year that this was.
Oh, this was land last year. Those sandbars behind us, those weren't there. There was water there last year.
Hooked up. Oh. This was all land last year.
Yep, that's a good one right
wow. Oh, it just came off.
Did it?
Yes.
Now, if I caught a fish, then it'd really be something.
Oh, he came off. Oh, he's back on. Joe.
That's young
fire.
C'est toi pour te ramasser. Ta maman, ton papa, oui, il crache une grande barrière. Quel espoir et quel avenir nous autres va voir. Oh, mets-toi la belle, toi tu vas m'aimer.
The swing. And I caught him.
Big mangrove? No little croaker?
Mangrove. No, croaker. Bruh. Hear him croaking?
Down your hook and catch it.
There's another one. Oh, just got him in the boat.
Soccer.
They've definitely turned on. Oh, lost him right there by the boat.
Dude, fishing is on fire right now. Almost every cast. Get him. Right there.
Not as big as the last one, but still keep him. One more trout. Finish up our limit.
Last trout. Come on, babe.
Oh, there he is.
Got him? All right.
Well, Troy, we had a great time today, man. I really appreciate it. The trout bite was on. We caught some redfish, Spanish mackerel, croaker. Tax man was coming by and taking his share of our speckled trout, but it was a great time. Y'all come down here and fish in Leeville, Louisiana. 4 Horsemen Tackle, Troy Robichaux, great time. Some of the best fishing in the world. I've been in a lot of places, it's some of the best. As always, we want to thank our troops. Without y'all, we couldn't do what we're doing here today. And until next time, keep on casting.
Mon l'âme les fait